Blue Sox baseball is back. Live from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, this is the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. And tonight's matchup, the 4-5 Utica Blue Sox host the 5-3 Saugerties Stallions. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another game of Blue Sox baseball. I'm Morgan Spriggs, alongside Killian Heffron. It's been a disappointing time for the Blue Sox pitching staff this week. They have allowed 14 or more runs in each of their last 3 games, with last night's Amsterdam defeat being called after 8 innings due to the run rule. Now, Killian, with a pitching staff performing below standard, the question that's at top of mind, how can it change tonight?
Well, Morgan, Utica's pitching is going to have to step up early in the game, and a lot of their offense, which has shown great things over the last few games. We saw them put up 14 and 18 runs, respectively, in the last 2 games before their most recent matchup against Amsterdam. But they're going to need to have that offense step up to get a head start on this Saugerties team and force the Stallions to climb out of a hole early in this game.
Now, if the Blue Sox want to get a head start and take the lead early and perform well offensively in tonight's matchup, they need some of their best players to perform. Through the first 9 games, Killian, who would you say is your pick for Utica's most valuable player?
Well, I'm going to have to go with the X-Man, Xavier Smith, for this honor. He hasn't had quite as many at-bats as some of his teammates, but he's by far been the most productive and clutch. 11 RBIs, he leads the team in that category, and 4 extra base hits. And don't forget the 3-run homer he hit just the other night here at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. So I would expect him to continue that performance here throughout this 2026 campaign.
To the Blue Sox opponent now. The Stallions are the defending PGCBL champions. They sit tied second in the Eastern Division, so they're in a decent spot. What's your take on the Saugerties squad so far?
Well, Morgan, the Saugerties squad has the lineup to make a run this year, similar to what they did last season, but it seems that they've been struggling through periods with pitching. Their offense has been solid, but they've been similar to the Blue Sox in that they've been struggling in games that are high scoring. They just can't seem to come on top of a lot of these shootouts. So Saugerties is going to have a big performance today, especially against the Utica team that does much the same thing.
So the Blue Sox have struggled recently, and they are facing last year's champions. But how can Utica win tonight's ball game? How do they do it?
Well, Utica is going to have to understand that they have the opportunity to send a message with a victory tonight. I'm sure all the members of this East Division are going to be looking at this Utica squad and seeing the pitching woes and kind of start carrying them out. If their pitching can pull things together here tonight and they can win this game, they could shock a lot of people if they can get off to a hot start here.
Well, Trevor Bailey is on the mound trying to reverse recent trends for the Blue Sox. Coming up after pregame festivities, we'll have the Blue Sox and the Stallions PGCBL baseball on a Thursday evening. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and kindly with your hat as we honor America and brave men and women who protect this country at home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem. Here to perform tonight, please welcome Daniela Rivera Litz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red the bombs bursting through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
Woo!
and the hope of the brave.
We are back here at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. And starting pitcher tonight for the Blue Sox is Trevor Bailey. Killian, what do you have on Trevor?
Well, Morgan, last time we saw Trevor was against the Boonville Lumberjacks. He pitched for 2 innings, allowed 1 hit and 2 runs, struck out 2 batters, and faced 11, and only had 1 wild pitch in a game that the Blue Sox really did struggle with wild pitch issues. So he had a quality outing his last time out. I think he's more than capable of doing the same thing today.
Now let's take a look at the Saugerties Stallions lineup. They sit at 5-3 and managed by Colin Martin. Leading off in center field is Ben Williams. Jack Bale bats second. He's in right field. Danny Surowick, the DH, bats third. Steven Ramirez is at the cleanup spot. He's at shortstop defensively. Chance Sobry, the first baseman, bats fifth. Nick Croce, the second baseman, bats sixth. Mason Gazaway, the left fielder, bats seventh. Jaden Hamilton, the third baseman, bats eighth. Mangus Krieger, the extra hitter, bats ninth. And Drew Freeman bats 10th as catcher. So the Stallions matching the Blue Sox with 10 hitters tonight, with the optional extra hitter being utilized by both squads this evening. Now, before we start, Killian, what's been interesting that the Blue Sox have been doing for a lot this season is they have their starter go up 2, maybe 3 innings, and then they go to the bullpen. So do you think the strategy has been working, going to the bullpen early? And if it has been working, how should they change it?
Well, the Utica strategy of going to the bullpen early has just not been too effective this year, and particularly over the last few games. They've been giving up a lot of runs, and it kind of feels like that when they bring out a new pitcher, it just completely changes the tempo of the game. Obviously, bringing out a new pitcher is always a gamble. There's always the risk that maybe he's having an off day, but and you're going to the bullpen so often, you're only just upping that risk, and it's contributing to them giving up so many runs.
Now there is a threat of rain and potential thunderstorms in the area. Killian, our weather expert, give us your take on what the weather could be tonight.
Well, I would not be shocked to see us get rain delayed here relatively shortly, actually. There's a cluster of thunderstorms near Oneida that's tracking east right now, and they're picking up steam as they go. So we'll see how long we're able to get in before the rain makes an appearance. Might be an interesting one here in regards to the weather.
Well, there's a bunch of thunderstorms near Oneida, and Oneida, New York native Trevor Bailey is on the mound. Ben Williams leads off for Saugerties.
Come on now, let's hear ya.
Bailey with a deep breath and his first pitch, the right-hander home, and fires in ball one, and we are underway. Game number 10 of the season for the Blue Sox, 1 minute past scheduled start time of 6:45 p.m. Middle of the infield playing back on this one ball pitch. That catches the corner for strike one. Bailey's family is in attendance, I believe, in the left corner grandstand right near the field. Bailey ready. Shrugs his shoulders, 1-1 pitch. Sprayed to the right side and foul, out of play.
Bailey going with a lot of fastballs early on here. Not really getting too much motion on these pitches, just trying to use the heat to blow away Williams.
Ben Williams, sophomore from Boston College, awaiting a 1-2 pitch from Bailey. Trevor takes his time. Kicks the knee. That pitch is high and off the glove of Ian Wirtz, the catcher, to the backstop. It's 2-2.
Well, Ben on the year, a .250 average. Only 4 at-bats coming into the night. Recorded 1 hit off those 4 at-bats. So not really a player we see Saugerties use as often as the rest of their core.
2-2 the count. Fifth pitch of the at-bat. Bailey stares in, fires. Low for ball 3, and the count has gone full.
And we've seen Utica have some issues with counts running full and extended pitch numbers on some of their pitchers here throughout the season. We'll see if tonight's the same story.
Payoff pitch on the first batter of the game from Trevor Bailey. And here it comes. Swung on and rattled up the middle and into center field for a leadoff base hit for Ben Williams. And with that, let's take a look at the Blue Sox defense and how they square up across the diamond. Catching for Bailey is Ian Wirtz. Levine is at first. Fry at second. Flashner is at short. Smith is at third. McCartney, Carvelli, and Sweeney left to right in the outfield. And now, coming up is Jack Bale for Saugerties, with 1 on and none away. Williams takes off. Pitch outside. Throw down to second. Just late. And a stolen base for Ben Williams right away on the first opportunity he could get. And Saugerties immediately with a runner in scoring position. Of course, Killian will talk all game long about how can this pitching staff string together good performances after 3 rough outings.
Williams got a nice jump there, was able to just get in time. Maybe a little closer than he liked, but good base steal.
1-0 to Bale is a spinning play to Smith at third, and his throw to first is in time. A nice play by Xavier Smith defensively to get out number 1.
That was a solid job there by Smith, like you said, but I mean, put a little style on that one. Spun around, did a whole 360, and then threw it to first base. It's a great play there by the X-Man.
Now batting is Danny Surowick. He can play both first and third. .6'3" sophomore from BC, so several Boston College players in the lineup. First pitch catches the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
And you can say he can play first and third, but not today. He's the designated hitter for the Stallions. looking like he might be on a bit of a fielding rest day.
Williams at second with one away in the top of the first. Turned towards the second base bag by Bailey, but he doesn't uncork a throw. Bailey checks the runner. 1 strike pitch. Tried to check, and it's strike 2. He did not check his swing. And Surwick is quickly in the hole with Steven Ramirez on deck. Williams patrols second. It is important for these Blue Sox pitchers to get off to a good start in the game. Feel some confidence. Bailey on the mound. First start since the Boonville game at home. The 0-2 off the corner for ball 1. We saw 2 home runs in the last home game against Amsterdam. Up to that point, no home runs at Donovan Stadium. Xavier Smith hit one into left field, and then Dill for Amsterdam hit one just over the right field wall. So see if we'll see any more bombs tonight. 1-2 pitch. On the ground and foul outside the bag at first, though Levine made a fielding attempt. And we'll do another 1-2 pitch.
Well, you talk about the home runs here that we had last time the Blue Sox had a home game, but Saugerties not a high-end home run team, only 2 on the year, more of a contact and speed combo for this Stallion team.
Bailey with another 1-2 pitch coming. Off the knob of the bat and foul. So a couple of foul balls for Surwick to stay alive. Bailey still. Check second. Now in motion. Another 1-2. Another foul along the first base line.
They're expecting Surwick to pull this one to right. You can see how they got the first baseman and the shortstop being Levine and Fry not shortstop, the second baseman just kind of backed up a little further, and then you got short and third playing further in, kind of anticipating that hard ground ball.
Surwick has grounded several to the right side, but they've all been foul. See what happens on this next one, too. Williams doesn't run on contact. A bloop into left field. Flashner backs up from short and hauls in out number 2. So a pop out to shortstop leaves Williams at second, and now here comes Steven Ramirez, the shortstop, with 1 on and 2 out. Ramirez, a freshman from Siena. In his college season, .286 batting average, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. He has an RBI chance in the first inning already and takes a brief batter timeout before he sees the first pitch. 14 walks and 4 stolen bases in his inaugural season at Siena for Ramirez. Stands at 5'10". He is also a switch hitter, so see if he switches his positioning early on. First pitch is low for a ball. Right now, he is batting in the left-handed hitting box. 1-0, Williams leads off at second base. And Bailey's pitch misses outside into Ian Wirtz's mitt. 2 balls and no strikes. Threats of rain and thunderstorms on the horizon, but right now it's a beautiful night, at least in the top of the first. Bailey in control. After a leadoff single, he's retired the last two. Can he pitch a scoreless first inning by retiring Ramirez? Williams doesn't run. There's a strike outside corner. So a similar spot to the first two pitches in this at-bat, but a little closer to the batter Ramirez. A nice pitch from Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey continuing to just go at him with fastballs, and he's been doing this for pretty much the entire top of the first, just using that fastball, trying to catch him with the heat.
2 balls, 1 strike the count. Bailey delivers. On the ground, Levine to his right from first. The covering pitcher in time for out number 3, and Bailey pitches a scoreless first inning.
And the first base coach for Saugerties saying he was off the bag. It was close. He might have just touched his foot on there at the last second, but the umpire's ruling's final. Side retired. No score from Saugerties.
We will go to the bottom of the first. Blue Sox batting when we return.
Have anything on lights.
Back in the bottom of the first after a scoreless top of the inning for Bailey, and Carson Lights, the Melbourne, Florida native, gets the start for the Saugerties Stallions. Let's take a look at the lineup for the home Utica Blue Sox. Leading off, Michael Flashner at shortstop. Ian Wirtz bats second at catcher. Xavier Smith is at 30, bats in the 3 spot. Ethan Madison is at cleanup in the EH role. Jack Sweeney, the right fielder, bats 5th. Justin Levine, the first baseman, bats 6th. Connor McCartney, the left fielder, bats 7th. Bowden Fernsler, the designated hitter, bats 8th. Robbie Carvelli, the center fielder, bats 9th. And Caden Fry, the second baseman, bats 10th. The Utica Blue Sox to work after they were defeated last night by the Amsterdam Mohawks on the road 14-4. They did not play a 9th inning because of the run rule. After 8 innings, if you're down by 10, you lose the game automatically. They don't play a 9th. So it was a long ride home for these Blue Sox, going to below 500.
Blue Sox, it's tonight's PK Fry guy. From Staten Island, New York, the shortstop, number 5, Michael Flashner. If Flashner gets an RBI at any point in this game,
here comes Michael Flashner to lead off, as he has been prone to do this season in the leadoff role. He had 1 put out in the top of the first at shortstop, where he usually sits in the infield defense. Flashner with a .313 batting average, 6 RBIs on 10 hits. He's played in every single game. And the first pitch is ball 1 from Lights. Important for the Blue Sox to get off to an early start and a lead. That's backed in for a strike.
Yeah, you can already tell Lights' velocity is going to be his main thing today. I mean, he's thrown 2 fastballs, and both of them have been extremely hard and kind of caught Flashner off guard.
1-1 pitch. Flashner shows bunt. It's foul to the left side near the Blue Sox dugout. Also, seeing Carson Lights here, Killian, he's throwing quickly and fast. After that first pitch, it looked like he didn't take much time to gather himself after that second pitch. That's in contrast to Bailey, who was very methodical in the first.
Yeah, I think just trying to get in the head of Flashner a little bit, just trying to...
Swing and a miss, but the ball gets away. And Flashner reaches base. They're going to say swing and a miss, but an error at the catcher. Though there is some conversation as the umpire moves up the first base line to see did he get a piece of it. And they're going to say no, he reaches base. So that's a way to start a game. A missed strike 3 swing and miss gets Flashner to reach. Here comes Ian Wirtz, the catcher. And now let's take a look at the defense for Saugerties. Catching for Lights in this game is Drew Freeman. Sobry is at first, Croce at second, Ramirez at short, and Hamilton at third. Gazaway, Williams, and Bale left to right in the outfield. Ian Wirtz, the catcher, with one on. Runner holds. First pitch fouled off to the right side, out of play.
And let's keep an eye here on what Lights tries to do. Does he keep going with fastballs, or does he try to change it up, go for some more off-speed stuff? Maybe mixing a couple of curves there, but he's been really efficient with his fastball early on and should have gotten Flashner out.
It is a strikeout. Flashner takes off. First pitch fly ball. Williams barely has to move in center field, and he moves in a couple steps and holes in out number 1. A fly out to center field for Ian Wirtz now brings up the X-Man, third baseman Xavier Smith, and you talked about the MVP of the Blue Sox being Smith and what he can do impact-wise for Utica, Killian.
Absolutely. Smith possesses a really unique ability here for Utica. He's got that clutch factor. He drove in 3 RBI on a double the last time we saw him and had a 3-run home run.
First pitch, Flashner holds, strike 1.
It looked like Flashner might have not been ready to face that first pitch. He kind of just stood there as that one went by, maybe not expecting the pitch to come so early.
Pickoff attempt towards first, not in time. On deck, Ethan Madison, the extra hitter. Mostly played in road games, but getting a start here at home. Lights with a 1-strike pitch. Half swing and foul to the visiting dugout, 0-2.
Like you said, Morgan, Lights' tempo, it's very fast, very contrasting to Bailey. And the Blue Sox are having a bit of trouble here, kind of matching to it.
And the 0-2 pitch. Swinging another foul ball. So a couple fouls in a row for the X-Man. Staying in the batter's box here. Facing Lights in the first. No score, just getting underway. Game number 10 of the season for the Blue Sox. Game number 9 for Saugerties. Flashner at first. He fakes but doesn't run. That pitch is outside the bag at third and foul. 3 straight foul balls for Smith. Infield playing back except for Sobry at first. The outfield is at normal depth and alignment. A humid and muggy day in central New York. Hasn't been much precipitation, but there's a forecast for it later. Throw over to first, not there.
And on most of the Lights' pitches to Smith, he's going high and inside, just trying to jam up Smith, get him the ground.
2 strikes is still the count. Smith has been battling off several pitches in a row. See how he approaches this pitch. He takes it low. That drops outside for ball 1. Smith settles in. 1-2 pitch. 2-2 now. So Smith trying to set a tone in the first inning with a lengthy at-bat. Try and make Lights really fire strikes and see if he can hang one over the middle. We know Smith has power. 2-2 pitch. It's now 3-2. Lights has thrown 3 straight balls. That was a fastball to the other batter's box. See if Smith can get on base here. After he fought off several 0-2 pitches for foul balls, now he's taken 3 straight pitches to fill up the count. 3-2 from Lights. Popped up, shallow right field. Croce moves out. He has his back to the diamond, and he hauls it in over the shoulder for out number 2. No advance for Flashner. And now with 2 out, that brings up Ethan Madison on the pop out to second base.
From Bowling Green, Kentucky, the extra hitter, number 15, Ethan Madison.
Now it is Ethan Madison, the extra hitter for the Blue Sox.
Smith usually is the extra hitter for Utica. This time sending him out to third base and bringing in Madison as EH.
Flashner's been at first ever since he reached on the missed catch for strike 3. He runs on the first pitch. The throw down to second from Freeman is laid, and Flashner steals the base with 2 out in the first. The swiftness of Flashner on full display.
You got a bit lucky there at the end, almost slid off the back. It was going so fast, his momentum almost carried him off.
Second baseman Croce tried to tag him. Fly ball, right field, Bale over to the line and runs it down easily for out number 3, and that retires the side. 1 left for the Blue Sox. We are scoreless through 1. We're back in the second inning. Blue Sox and Stallions tied 0-0. Chance Sobry leads off for Saugerties in the 5 spot, so 5, 6, and 7 for Saugerties. And what's interesting, Killian, is there's been a lot of crazy games, high scoring affairs for the Blue Sox, but this game has kind of seemed normal early on.
Yeah, a bit mundane in terms of hitting, which is, like you said, very unusual for a lot of these Blue Sox games. A lot of high action, high hitting. Only 1 hit between the 2 teams in that first inning, so Utica's pitching staff absolutely will take that and hope that performance continues.
That only hit was a leadoff single up the middle by Ben Williams. Flashner reached base, but it was on a missed strike 3 catch. Bailey on the bump for inning number 2. Glares in. First pitch to Sobry is ball 1. Just a tad high off the edge of the strike zone. It is a humid day. There is little wind, so when a slight breeze comes, it's a joy to all, though heavy wind could be a factor later on. One-0 pitch. Swing and a miss into the glove of Worth. Went with that breaking ball that dropped really deep to the home plate area. It's 1-1. So that nice breaking ball for Bailey gets a strike, count even at 1-1.
Bailey's had good motion on a number of these early offerings.
1-1 pitch is on the inside corner, strike 2. Bailey's yet to get a strikeout. His outs were recorded on the ground twice and then 1 pop out, so no Ks just yet. Eyes 1 here in the top of the second, but Chance Sobry calls for time. So that dream will have to wait another couple seconds.
Well, that's probably smart there from Sobry. He knew that he was in a bad spot, just elected to take a quick breather.
1-2 pitch. Way inside. Bailey must have missed his spot there. That was an easy pitch to take for Chance. Chance took a chance, and it was a good one. So the count even at 2-2. Nobody on, first batter in the top of the second. Scoreless game. From Utica, New York, Trevor Bailey. Still is a statue. Now in his motion. Lowers the glove. 2-2 pitch. It's a full count now. So Trevor Bailey, in his last 2 pitches, went inside and then outside of the batter, unable to coax a swing.
This is now in the top of the first and the top of the second that the leadoff hitter has gone to a full count for Bailey. Last time resulted in a base hit grounded up the middle.
Payoff pitch from Bailey. Here it comes to the plate. Air to center field. Carvelli moves over to his right and catches out number 1. So a fly out to center field for Chance Sobry. And now here comes Nick Croce, this second baseman.
And Croce's been good stealing this year. 6 stolen bases on the season so far. If he gets on, he's a threat.
Bailey taking a while to throw his first pitch. Now releases. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball.
We're starting to get the wind here picking up as well. That might affect fielding a little bit for some of these pop-ups, and we've seen quite a few in this game.
Croce, the right-handed hitter, waits for an 0-1, and here it comes. Can't grab the edge for the strike, so it's 1-1. So Croce, Pine Bush, New York native, played college at Chippewa in Florida, but committed to the University of New Orleans last month. 1-1. That's just outside for ball 2. So Bailey has had several pitches just a tad outside in this at-bat, and it's now 2-1. Getting dark early on this Thursday night. 2-1 pitch. It's ball 3.
And it's not really something we've seen from Bailey early on. I mean, yes, there were those couple of full counts, but for the most part, he's been accurate. So big opportunity here for Saugerties if they can get on base with a walk and with only 1 down.
That is strike 2, and Croce throws the bat as if it was ball 4, and he was going to walk over to first. Instead, somebody near the dugout, in fact, the next hitter to come up, Gazaway, has to retrieve the bat for him. So a bit of an embarrassing moment. And if Croce doesn't walk in this inning, that may be a blooper for Saugerties. Another full count for Bailey. Can he get the second out of the inning right here? Here it comes. Nipped foul behind home plate.
And Croce is doing literally everything here to stay in this at-bat. He thought he should have been out of it already, but obviously, like we said, the officials say no, so he's got to continue the battle through this one, and Bailey's gotten out of these situations a couple times as the lights come on early.
Second straight full count pitch for Bailey coming. swing and a miss, struck him out. Croce thought he walked 2 pitches ago. He will walk to the dugout, not to first base. 2 out. Here comes Mason Gazaway, the left fielder.
Number 16, Mason Gazaway.
Mason, a freshman from Georgia Southern. He calls the Peach State his home. 6'1" outfielder batting in the left-handed box. First pitch is strike 1 on the top part of the zone, and I think if Bailey finishes the second inning cleanly, he should definitely come out for the third. I don't think a strategy going to the bullpen for Doug Gillette would really be the smartest one right now, given how Trevor's pitching.
Yeah, he's had a great start to this game. Only 1 hit allowed.
1-1.
And besides a couple of full counts, he's kept his pitch count relatively low.
But when he's had those full counts, he hasn't walked anybody. He did allow that leadoff hit on a walk, but kept on a 3-2 pitch. But that's been it. On a 1-1 offering, that's in tight, and a hit by pitch. So, Gazaway reaches with 2 out on the first hit batsman of the game, and now Jaden Hamilton, the 8 hitter in the lineup, takes his turn. So at least 4 hitters are going to come up to the plate in both the first and second for Saugerties.
Well, if that's the only way Saugerties can really get on base here, I'm sure Utica's fine with an occasional hit by pitch here and there. Our pitching's been really good so far early on in this game, something that they just weren't able to do against Amsterdam.
Wind picking up a little bit with 2 out in the top of the second. There's a strike. Throw down to second. It's close, but it comes out of the glove of Flashner.
Yeah, it's like Flashner there kind of just took his eye off the ball at the last second. It was a great throw by the catcher Wirtz, and just Flashner couldn't bring it in. So
Make that fry at second base he was covering. Excuse me. But nonetheless, still same result. A stolen base for Gazaway. 0-1. The ball strike count. Bailey checks the base runner. Now throws home. It's high, ball 1. That's the second steal of the game for Saugerties. Ben Williams stole in the first. So there's been men in scoring position, at least 1, in both the first and second. But Bailey hasn't had anything beyond that.
we know Bailey's comfortable in this position with men in scoring position. He's done great handling it so far.
Strike 2 on the far corner.
As long as his pitching keeps hitting this level that we've seen it hit so far, I'm sure Utica's more than happy to let him work his way out of this one.
1-2 the count. Gazaway at second. Bailey wants a scoreless second. Can he get it here with this 1-2 pitch? Into right field, Sweeney makes the catch for out number 3, and Bailey, with 2 scoreless innings, will go to the bottom of the second. Blue Sox looking for the first runs of the game. To the bottom of the second we go. Justin Levine leads off for the Blue Sox after Trevor Bailey scoreless top of the second, and the wind has been much more of a presence in the second inning compared to a humid first and killing. You said that was going to happen.
Yeah, we got this little line of rain showers. It's weakened from earlier, but moving on in right now. Wouldn't be too surprised if we get a rumble of thunder here, but we'll definitely get some rain showers within the next 10-15 minutes.
The count's 0-1 to Levine. Let's hope for no thunder or lightning and any delays. 0-1 pitch from Lights. Taken for ball one on the dropping curveball. Infield all playing back on this 1-1. That catches the inside edge, 1-2.
That inside fastball has been a very successful pitch for Lights early on in this game. I'd imagine he's going to keep going back to it here as he's thrown a lot of strikes on it, that inside edge.
Over the heart of the plate, struck him out, and Justin Levine, who is trying to raise up that batting average, can't do it there. A strikeout looking to begin the bottom of the second.
That was a beautiful pitch there to close that one out. Got a great curve on it, got it right back in and bamboozled Sweeney.
Here does come Levine. It was Sweeney who struck out looking there, excuse me. First pitch is a strike. To third base, jumps, hops in fair, and past the glove of Hamilton. And that goes down as an infield single that was just to the right of the bag. So 1 on.
So that's a big one for Utica. If they end up scoring it a single.
I think they should. It was a really tough play by Jaden Hamilton at third.
Yep, and they will. So it's Utica's first hit on the day. The infield single there from Justin Levine. Now up to the 7-batter, McCartney.
Here comes Connor McCartney, who's playing left field today. Runner holds. There's ball one, dropping low. Runner moves. Pitch is in for a strike. Bouncing throw to second is late. And a stolen base for Justin Levine with 1 out in the second. That's the second steal of the game for the Blue Sox. They have matched the Saugerties total in swiped bags.
Well, Levine cutting it a little close there, but able to get in nonetheless. I'm sure Utica will be more than happy if they are able to win the base stealing game tonight.
1-1 pitch is pumped in there, a fastball for strike 2. And Lights with authority gets back into this count in his favor.
And when Lights needs to turn the momentum of that bat, we'll see him use that fastball. He's done it so many times in this game so far. And it's contributed to why he's only given up 1 hit. It's been intimidating, I think, a bit to these Utica pitchers.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Lights looks in. Settles. Checks second. Runner stays put. Ball 2 yanked away. So Justin Levine, who reached first on a walk and then stole second, proving to be some threat for Lights as that pitch didn't hit where exactly he wanted to, location-wise. Let's see what he does on this 2-2. He goes fastball and it just misses the corner. The count is full. So Levine raised that batting average from 150. He is the lowest batting average hitter in the lineup today, but raised it a bit there. Sprayed into right field. That ball is caught by Bale. Throw to second is way late. So a soft line out to right field brings up Bowden Fernsler.
That's a hard line drive there out to right. Just kind of didn't go where he quite wanted it to. He's able to get that one a little more to the left. I'd imagine that falls into the gap, but fielder didn't have to move that much. Just a little bit unlucky there.
I thought it may have dropped there on first contact, but it hung a little too long in the air. And its trajectory went right into the glove of Bale. First pitch is low for ball 1. So a runner has reached in every single half inning for both the Blue Sox and the Stallions, but none have scored so far. There still is a possibility with Levine, though, at second base. He has singled and stolen second. 1 ball and no strikes. Skittered towards third, and it bounces through into left field past Hamilton for a base hit. Bowden Fernsler with a 2-out single. Runners on the corners for the Blue Sox in the second, trying to take the lead.
Levine hesitated initially there on the base path between second and third. He thought that one was going to get fielded, but when it got through, he just didn't really have the jump that enabled them to go home, so he'll have to stop at third base, and now it gives a little bit of life here to Saugerties. The run doesn't come home, having a chance to get out of this inning.
Levine at third, Fernsler at first. First pitch is in for strike 1. Slower fastball for Lights than earlier pitches of the four-seam variety. Fry's on deck. Checked on the runner at first, safe.
Lights, like you said, losing a bit of that velocity here as we go. Utica's doing a good job running up his
Pickoff attempt is wide at first base, and a run scores. The throw gets all the way into foul ground. This could be a 2-base advance for Fernsler. He pops up into third, and it is a big mistake by Lights on the mound. He throws it away at first base, scoring a run, and Fernsler's all the way to third. Call it an E1.
And that's an error we've seen actually a few times this year at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. It's just pickoff attempts just going completely out of control. And
swing and a miss, 0-2.
Couldn't ask for a better timing on that one from Utica. Gets the run home and advances another one to third. Now I got the opportunity here to get a multi-run advantage out of the second inning.
Carvelli, 7 hits and a double, his only extra base hit on the season. Can he bring home Fernsler? 0-2. Chop to second base. Fielded cleanly, and the throw to first from Crofsey is in time, but the Blue Sox do get on the scoreboard on an error by the pitcher Lights. We are through 2 innings, 1-0 Utica. We're back for the top of the third inning. The Blue Sox scored the first run of the game at the bottom of the second on an error by Carson Lights. On the pitching mound, he attempted a pickoff attempt at Fernsler, who was the runner, and the throw went up the line.
But besides that error, Lights was extremely solid. You saw him using his velocity to get out of a lot of tough situations.
Trevor Bailey back for the third inning. Magnus Krieger is the hitter in the EH role. So not in the field defensively, but in the batter's box tonight. First pitch from Bailey is upstairs, a fastball, 1-0. Freeman, the catcher, will follow, and then Ben Williams for his second at-bat.
Saugerties' offense just been really silent here over the first couple of innings, hoping to change that here at the top of the third.
1-0. Well hit in the air, left field, and down the line, and that ball is foul. Maybe. They're going to roll a home run. It's a home run. And Krieger touches them all. It's 1-1. Almost fouled on the left field line.
Well, the announcer's jinx strikes again. Just as I talk about Saugerties' offense being silent, they hit a bomb in the left field, and that one had no chance of coming back. Well struck and a well-earned home run.
Krieger ties the game on a home run, and now it's the catcher, Drew Freeman. First pitch is ball 1.
But for Krieger, that's his first home run on the year. So I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy about that one. Well hit ball, got all the contact.
1-0 from Bailey. Stung into right field. That drops in for a no-out single. Back-to-back hits to lead off the third for Saugerties. So now here comes the offense that we've been looking for. Or at least Saugerties has been looking for. I don't know if Utica's wanted it, but here it is. Ben Williams on a full count pitch. He singled through the middle his first time up. 1-1. Bailey throws the first pitch, and it is strike 1, just at the lower part of the zone.
And the first time Williams was up, it was a really lengthy at-bat, just a long battle between him and Bailey.
Oh, 0-1 the count. Bailey delivers. That ball bounces away from Wirtz, and it advanced to second for Freeman on the wild pitch. So this inning's getting a little bit away of Bailey. Home run allowed, single, then a wild pitch.
We're going to find out a lot about Utica here over the next couple of at-bats. How do they respond after having some of those pitching woes when things start to not go right on the mound? What's going to be the response here from the coaching staff and Bailey?
1-1. Bailey checks Freeman at second. Throws home to the leadoff hitter. It's inside, ball 2. A 1-1 game in the top of the third. Bailey, 2-1. That's outside into the other batter's box. So this has been the least effective inning of Bailey's, though he still has his power to settle down and keep this game tied after the home run allowed. Three balls and 1 strike. And the offering from Bailey to the plate. Strike 2. Just on the edge of the zone. And the count has gone full. Full counts have been common for Bailey in this game, though he's been able to get a lot of outs from those 3-2 pitches. Williams was not one of those guys. He had a 3-2 pitch his first time up and got a hit. That is out. That is outside, ball 4. 2 on with none out for Saugerties.
Well, Williams has done his job tonight. He's gotten on base and he has worked the pitch count of Bailey, and Now if you're Utica here, as this count continues to rise, you got to wonder how long it takes until they decide to pull the plug here and go to their bullpen, which
For Saugerties,
isn't quite the most ideal situation here this early in the game, but if the pitch count continues to rise, I know that it's going to be in the back of the minds of this Blue Sox coaching staff and manager Doug Blatt.
Aiden Schmidt is pinch hitting for Bale in the third inning with 2 on and none out. So manager Colin Martin going to his bullpen going to his roster of hitters, to be more specific, and a pinch hitter pretty early into the game. So it is Aiden Schmidt with 2 on. Infield is in, especially at first. Schmidt takes the first pitch fastball for strike 1. Interesting decision for Saugerties, already going with a pinch hitter and taking out Bale after only 1 at bat. On the ground, in the hole to shortstop. That's a base hit, and the sacks are loaded in the third. And this inning has been rough for Bailey. He now has to escape a 3-runner-on jam.
Like you said, interesting decision, but it looks like it proved to be the correct one. That was a great job getting the contact and just advancing himself there on the first base, moving up all the runners. And now, with them all loaded up, it comes down to Serwick.
Danny Serwick popped out to shortstop his last time up. Right now, Wirtz is talking with Bailey on the mound to see what can they do to limit the damage, maybe keep it to a 2-1 game, get some outs for sacrifices to limit the damage, something like that. Ground ball outs for double plays would be good, of course. How can you get out of it?
And Serwick, coming into the night, only has 3 at-bats coming into this game today. Recorded 1 hit on those at-bats, no RBI, so this is a big opportunity for him to break out. He flew out his last time up. So his average on the season down to 250.
Bailey with the first pitch to Serwick. And he makes contact, but it's in the left and foul. Oh, and 1 the count. Bases loaded. Freeman, Williams, and Schmidt lead all the way around. The 0-1 into the other batter's box for ball 1 to even the count. So Freeman with the leadoff single. Well, the second hitter to bat, after Krieger homered, but Freeman singled, then a walk for Williams, and then Schmidt with a pinch hit single. There's ball 2. Wind has died down a bit in the top of the third, but the threat for the Stallions is really simmering. 2-1. That's ball 3, and a threat of a walk driving it a run is very possible with the count at 3 balls and 1 strike now.
That's exactly what Saugerties wants, with no outs still on the board here in the top of the third. Just a great job by the Stallions.
3-1, the pitch from Bailey. That ball is inside for a walk, and that scores the second run of the game for Saugerties. Freeman touches home, an RBI walk for Serwick, and it's 2-1.
I don't know if that one might have actually hit Serwick. It's the same result nonetheless, but
It was certainly close. Whether it's a walk or hit by pitch, it doesn't matter. It scores Freeman on the play. Here comes Steven Ramirez with the bases still loaded. It's now Williams, Schmidt, and Serwick, the base runners. First pitch, there's a strike. 0-1. Still nobody out in the third for Bailey. And this inning could get from bad to worse with one big hit.
And the Blue Sox do have some movement up in their bullpen, so let's see what they decide to do. If they decide to take him out mid-inning here or let him roll through and try to salvage this.
Count now 1-1 on a fastball that missed away. Chance Sobry, who flew out in the second to center field, is on deck. Ramirez takes a 1-1 for strike two. And Bailey attempting to get the first guy out on a strikeout perhaps, which means that a double play would then end the inning subsequently. That would be the best way for him to get out of it, just in a 2-1 game. Probably the best case scenario at this point. 1-2 pitch. The count has gone to 2-2 on a fastball outside. After Sobry, it would be Nick Crosey. Wind picking up just a little bit now. Overcast night in Utica. Blue Sox trying to get back on the mend and in the win column, sitting at 4-5. 2-2 pitch. And Ramirez looks at ball three upstairs. And the count has gone full. So Bailey cannot retire Ramirez on that last pitch. Can he do it here? Williams, Schmidt, and Surowick, the base runners, third to first. Creeping off their bags. 3-2 pitch. Half swing foul to the left side on the screen.
And the pitch count here for Bailey now up to a 63 as the rain starts to come down. We'll see how long this one lasts before they potentially call it, as it should only get a little heavier here as time goes on.
Another full count pitch upcoming for Bailey. With the rain now pouring. Here it is. Another half swing and foul, this time right behind home plate.
Just doing anything here to stay alive in this at-bat, not wanting to let this golden opportunity go to waste. And with nobody down, things are not looking up here for Bailey, whose pitch count only continues to get higher, nearing 70.
Wind gusts are growing. Attendees are moving up in the grandstands to get under the roof with the rain now coming. Another full count pitch on the ground and foul along first. Long at bat for Steve Ramirez.
And give Ramirez credit. He's not afraid here to swing with the full count. And the bases loaded. He's done a great job of just keeping himself alive, but you know he's waiting for that one pitch that he can smack into the outfield. And they've also got short and second playing back here, so maybe anticipating a bit of a pop-up sort of thing.
Yet another full count pitch coming from Trevor Bailey. And here it comes. Inside, ball four, and it's a 3-1 game. Scoring is Williams, an RBI walk for Ramirez, and it's a 2-run lead for Saugerties in the third.
Well, it's unfortunate someone had to lose that duel. That one was going on for a long time, and ultimately Ramirez is going to come out on top in a hard-fought battle there.
We have a mound visit still with none out, and the bases reloaded in a 3-1 Stallion lead. Pitching coach Luke Schulte on the bump. And the Blue Sox will make a pitching change, not out in the top of the third. Stallions have them loaded and looking for more. The next pitcher for the Blue Sox wants to keep it in a 2-run game, and we'll see who the pitcher is after this break. opening day starter for the Blue Sox relieves Trevor Bailey in the top of the third with none out and 3 on. It is John Regas. John with a tough time possible because he has 3 runners on base and Chance Sobry at the plate. Saugerties seeking to inflict more damage in this crucial third. First pitch is ball 1. The first 6 batters have all reached base for the Stallions. 3 hits, 2 singles, and a home run. And the lead is 3-1 for the visitors. 1-0. That misses away for Regas. The rain continuing to drop from the clouds. Sure, Sobry wants to lift one into the clouds for a grand slam. 2-0. And he watches ball 3 dip low. So a chance at yet another run-scoring walk.
Yeah, this rain's only picking up. I would not be too shocked here if we see them call a rain delay relatively soon, but credit to everybody on the field. They want to push through it, which is understandable.
That is ball 4 low, and that scores another run. Touching home is Aiden Schmidt on an RBI walk for Chance Sobry, and it's 4-1 Stallions. And the struggles for the Blue Sox pitching continues in this third. So Bailey with a couple of normal innings, and now the wheels have come off. In the Boonville game, with which the Blue Sox actually won 18-16 earlier this week, the Blue Sox issued 10 consecutive run-scoring walks to blow a 14-0 lead, but they came back to win. First pitch is high to Nick Crosey for his second at-bat. 5 pitches for Regas and 5 balls. One and 0. Here it comes. There's a strike. First strike of the game for Regas on a fastball inside.
And as this rain continues to come down, Morgan, I wouldn't be too shocked here to see Saugerties try to hurry things up because they know that if they start losing momentum because of a rain delay,
Ball 2.
it might not benefit them as good as a unrested arm would be.
Yeah.
Up on the mountains. The Saugerties are going to obviously try to just play through this because they know they have all the momentum in their favor right now, and they would not be too pleased if this one got called right now.
2-1 pitch from Regas. Strike 2 over the heart of the plate to even up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Surwick, Ramirez, and Sobry, the base runners. The 3 men who have all walked in runs in this inning, even though Surwick almost got hit. 2-2 pitch in a right field, and that goes out of play, foul. A couple of kids chase after it, so it's still 2-2. Mason Gazaway is on deck, and not only is it a 4-1 game and the bases are still loaded for Saugerties, there's still nobody out in the inning. This has been a tough inning for the Blue Sox arms. And a 2-2 pitch is in there for strike 3. A delayed call at home plate, but it gets Nick Crosey looking on a backwards K, and there's finally the first out in the third.
Left fielder number 16, Mason Gazaway.
Here's Mason Gazaway. He was hit by a pitch, but didn't score in the second inning. Base is still loaded, but now 1 out. A double play would keep this game 4-1 and get Regas and the Sox out of the inning. First pitch. That ball gets away through the legs of Wirtz. He tries to throw it home, but can't release the throw, and the 5th run scores. Touching home is Surwick. Ramirez advances to third. Sobry advances to second, and it's a 5-run top of the third for the Stallions.
Well, Utica had the momentum kind of shifting a bit there, and then you give it the wild pitch. Just not ideal for Utica to do that right there. And all of a sudden, now Saugerties tacks on another run, and something that felt like maybe the Blue Sox were starting to rein it in a little bit.
In the air to left field, that moves back McCartney. He looks up, and watches that ball drop in right in front of him. That scores 1 run, and they're going to call it a
Looks like it's going to be a ground rule
ground
double
rule
here.
double, exactly.
Yeah,
That scores 2 runs on the play. It is now 7-1. A complete disaster in this inning for the Blue Sox.
This one takes a bounce off the warning track and then skips on the yellow, not too sure what you would call that, on the top of the fence, and then takes a couple of bounces there and then rolls its way out. So honestly, for Utica, that might be the best situation there, as that one would have been really difficult to rein back in. And they could have given up another run.
Jaden Hamilton to hit. Takes a strike on the outside corner.
And you talk about making a statement, Morgan. This has been the statement from Saugerties here in the top of the third. They knew that their pitching wasn't exactly, or excuse me, they knew that their hitting wasn't exactly performing up to standard in the first 2, and they've put up 7 here of only 1 out in the top of the third. Just a great inning hitting-wise by these Stallions.
The Blue Sox took a lead of 1-0 in the bottom of the second, and that has been short-lived. In the top of the third, Saugerties has scored 7 with a chance for more. There's strike 2.
And barring a double play, it would bring up Gazaway, and I believe he's the one who started off this inning for Saugerties. So.
Yeah, it was Krieger who hit a leadoff home run. He would be next in the 9 spot. Saugerties has batted around, 0-2 pitch. Swinging, just barely got a piece of that, is Hamilton. Still 0-2 on that nubbed foul. So Krieger is on deck. He has homered in this inning. Unless there is a catch him out, throw him out double play at second or third base. Seems like Krieger's going to hit for the second time in this inning. Oh, 2. That is just outside. Almost. No, they call it strike 3. So, second strikeout for Regas. And here comes Krieger with 2 out and 1 on.
And like you said, last time we saw Krieger, he hit that leadoff home run, so his second time up in the top of the third. And hoping to do it again. This time against a new pitcher, though.
Throw over to second. Not a chance. Just a little lollipop throw. I think Regas committed to throwing already, but Gazaway was already well back to the pillow for the toss. 2 out with 1 on. 7-run inning for Saugerties. Still have a man in scoring position. Gazaway with a 2-run ground rule double over McCartney's head near the left field wall. First pitch of the at-bat is a ball thrown high. 1-0.
Well, let's keep an eye here on the runner at second, Gazaway. Would it be 2 shots here if he tries to take off, even with 2 down, but just to maybe advance a little bit, just get in the Blue Sox heads a little more.
Swing and a miss. It's 1-1 on the fastball. This may very well be the defining inning of the game. A 7-run frame for Saugerties, at least 7 runs as of now. Swing and a miss. Drop the breaking ball into the dirt. It's 1-2. Freeman is the hitter who would be next. He has singled and scored a run. The 9-10 hitters and then hitters 1 through 5 have all scored in this inning for Saugerties. A 1-2 pitch. And just a little high. Ball 2. Rain's still a factor, but I haven't seen any lightning or haven't heard any thunder. So given the turf field that we have, it doesn't seem like there would be a delay, at least of now, though we'll keep an eye on it, of course. A lengthy top of the third. Regis checks second. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. The count has gone full with 2 out. The Blue Sox at 4-5, coming off getting run ruled in Amsterdam through 8 innings. They lost 14-4. Saugerties at 5-3, tied for second in the Eastern Division, coming off last year's PGCBL title. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, but a big inning for the Stallions. They put 7 on the scoreboard and lead after 2.5 by 6. We're back at the bottom of the third with Carson Lights on the mound for his third inning, and Killian a 7-run inning with both Bailey and Regis on the mound, giving up those runs to Saugerties. What's your takeaway? What happened?
Well, the big issue there was not only the walks, but it was also the hits given up. And I mean, I know that's an extremely obvious sounding answer, but it's been a problem the whole year where the Blue Sox pitching has just not been able to avoid giving up hits, avoid giving up walks. And so now down 7-1, they have an opportunity to come back. They got the whole rest of the game, but they got to be careful because that run rule.
First pitch bloop off the bat of Fry into center field, and it just skips in front of Williams for a leadoff base hit.
Well, I'm sure Utica will more than take that as a leadoff. But, I mean, talk about the grab there by Williams in center field. Slid down, let it bounce into his glove. That was clean.
Michael Flashner has gone 0 for 1. He reached on a swinging strikeout. Runner holds. Ball 1 upstairs from Lights. We know the Blue Sox can hit. In their last 2 games, they've scored many runs. Throw over to first, pickoff attempt, not there. And even though they gave up 16 runs to Boonville 2 games ago, they scored 18 to win. So the Blue Sox can put runs on the board. So a comeback is possible, and they want it to start right now in the bottom of the third. Line drive to the left side and foul. On a gloomy night, weather-wise, you can still see the sun almost peek out of the clouds, but with the gray clouds stopping the sunlight from coming in, you don't see it much. Another pickoff attempt, not there. The rain is a factor, but it's not super loud right now in terms of disrupting any kind of play. Haven't seen any thunder. Runner takes off. Ball bounces low at the plate. And it's a stolen base easily for Caden Fry. Third stolen base of the game for the Blue Sox, and they have a runner in scoring position with none out in the third.
Yeah, and if that wild pitch there doesn't clip the umpire, I think Fry is easily the third. He was going to steal anyway, so he got the jump. He was to second by the time the catcher even picked up the ball.
Freeman tried to field it, but by the time he picked it up, Fry was already to the bag. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Carson Lights the batter, make that Carson Lights the pitcher, and he throws and gets a strike to the hitter, Michael Flashner.
And we've seen Lights slowly lose his velocity here, but he is continuing to be relatively dominant for this Blue Sox team today, or excuse me, for this Stallions team.
2-2 is another one spoiled to the left side.
Only conceding 3 hits, only conceding 1 run. Even as he gets fatigued here, he's still playing very good baseball. And so the Blue Sox just have to figure out how to crack this code here of the Saugerties pitcher Lights.
He's allowed 1 run. Came on an error by him in the second. Just got a piece of it, and it goes foul. So a good at-bat for Flashner. Can he translate that into getting on base and perhaps giving Fry a chance to score? No extra base hits so far in the game for the Blue Sox. Both of their hits, which came in the second, were singles. 2-2. In on the bat and rolled over to Hamilton, who fires over to first for the out. Throw over to third is late. So an advance to third for Fry on the ground out to third base for Flashner. And there's 1 away.
The catcher, number 61, Ian
They
Wirtz.
looked for the double play there. We're just unable to get it, unfortunately, for the Stallions. But at Utica, it's a good position for them. You got the runner on third, only 1 down. You can drive in a run and then see where things go from there. At this point, you just want to take it 1 run at a time. Just don't try to take on all 6 runs at once. You got to just win these little battles.
It's 1-0 to Ian Wirtz. He flew out to Williams in center his first time up. 0-1. Count 1-0 though. And he bounces one towards second. That'll get a run home. Scoring is Fry on the ground out to second base. An RBI 4-3 put out for Wirtz, and it's 7-2.
Well, I'm sure the Blue Sox will gladly take that one. Like I just said, it's about those little battles in a game like this where you're trying to battle back. And now you can focus on the bigger picture here.
Here comes the X-Man, Xavier Smith. First pitch hits him on the head, and that's a hit by pitch. We've seen some hit by pitches on the noggin this season. There's the first one of the game. That moves Wirtz over, make that Wirtz is not on base. He grounded out, so nobody on base, and now it's Smith, the runner at first. Ethan Madison now up. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right in the first. The runner is Smith. 2 out, bottom 3. Xavier holds on a first pitch strike. Ethan Madison coming up as the extra hitter. If he reaches base, it'll be Jack Sweeney next. 0-1. In the air, right center field. That drops in for a single. Advancing to third is Smith. Throw not in time. That's a 2-out single for Madison. 2 on with 2 out, a threat in the third for the Blue Sox.
Right fielder, number 17.
Well, we're seeing this Utica offense, like we've said earlier in this game, they're very solid and they continue to behave as advertised there. That's a great job getting more runners onto the base.
So the Blue Sox are fighting. They've already put up 1 run on a ground up by Wirtz in this inning. Can they make it more? Sweeney 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time to the plate, and he takes ball 1 from Carson Lights. These Stallions in a good position in the division. Blue Sox are right in the thick of it. They're far from out of it contention-wise. One huge comeback, one big game could spur a win streak, and they'd love this comeback to happen tonight. It's 2 balls and no strikes as an off-speed pitch dips away. 7-2 Saugerties, bottom of the third. 8 combined runs in this inning. Nipped foul, 2-1. Starter for Saugerties still in the ball game, Lights. He's worked 2 2/3 innings so far. Regis and Bailey already on the mound for the Blue Sox, so Utica's reached into their bullpen earlier than maybe they would have wanted in that third. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's ball 3 in the dirt. So now, Sweeney, if he walks, that's bases loaded for Justin Levine. And Justin is singled on the day. The Blue Sox have had strong moments this year with runners on and 2 out. There's strike 2. Caught the corner. And the count is full. Bases 2/3 full. The right fielder, Sweeney, gets back into the batter's box. The right-handed hitter waits for a 3-2 from Lights. Here it comes. That is ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Here comes Levine with 3 on base in the bottom of the third. Blue Sox have already scored 1, and they could make it a productive inning. Further carving into this Saugerties deficit if Levine works a good at-bat here. What is most likely, of course, could be a walk or single or something of the sort. But an extra base hit would be massive. For Levine, sitting below the Mendoza line in his batting average, could this be the big at-bat that he would love for his season to improve statistically?
The Blue Sox are yet to get an extra base hit on the day. They would more than like this to be the point right here that they get one.
The last 3 hitters, Smith got hit by a pitch on his head. Madison singled to right center, and Sweeney walked. And here comes Justin Levine. May this be a turning point for the Blue Sox. In a come-from-behind attempt. First pitch from Lights is in for a strike on the lower edge of the zone. 0-1. Outfield playing at normal depth, maybe a tad deep. 0-1 pitch. That's way upstairs on the fastball from Lights. Threw it hard, but not in the zone. 1-1.
And you know Levine's just waiting to see his pitch. Waiting for the opportunity.
Just got a piece of it, and it's foul to the backstop, 1-2. Bases loaded, 2 out, and a 1-2 count. Saugerties has scored 7 in this inning, and the Blue Sox add on to their already 1 run plated. Lights. Ready. He fires the pitch. That ball gets away, hopping outside of Freeman's glove. That scores a run, and it's 7-3. That is ball 2 and a wild pitch. 4-run game. Scoring is Smith from third. Advancing to third is Madison. Advancing to second is Sweeney.
And I like what I'm seeing here from Utica. They're just slowly chipping away, not taking things too fast.
2-2 offering. That is in there for strike 3 on the outside edge. So the Blue Sox get 2 runs, but strand 2. We are through 3 innings, a 7-3 game in favor of Saugerties.
So we welcome you back here. Riga's still in at the mound for the Blue Sox. And Saugerties, after going around the order in an inning that saw Krieger homer, and then when it came back to him, strike out for the final out of the inning, it'll start off with Drew Freeman.
Everyone attends will go home with a good one for a free taco, courtesy of Taco Bell.
Last time he was up, Freeman singled. Only one extra base hit in this game between these two teams. It was a ground rule double. Or it's technically two if you include Krieger's home run. Both swings on the day that resulted in the person at the plate advancing multiple bases ended up over the fence in one way or the other. So here's the one over from, and that one is grounded to first, easily played there for the ground out. So first batter of the inning retired on the 1-3.
Good start for the Blue Sox. Trying to keep this a 4-run game and chip away on offense in the bottom of these frames.
So now back to the top of the order. Here's Ben Williams, his third time up today. He's singled and walked as he faces the first offering, and that one's in there for strike one. Williams, both times he was up, got the count to full, and both times was able to reach base. Did a great job running up the pitch count on Trevor Bailey back in the first and third innings. And now he's quickly falling behind 0-2 after that foul. Infield playing at a normal depth, but besides second and short, both of them standing a couple steps behind their normal depth. The 0-2 is high, and the count will move to 1-2.
Regis right now just trying to have a normal inning after that big blow-up third.
And that offering from Regis misses high, now 2-2, and so right back into the count goes Ben Williams. He conceded 5 hits on the day, 7 runs allowed. And that one, a called strike 3, a delayed signal there from the umpire, and so the first batter of the top of the fourth is, or excuse me, the first and second batters at the top of the fourth are retired. And so now Utica here trying to go 1-2-3 on the inning. And to do that, they'll have to get Jack Bale. Bale singled his last time up. So they're back to the pinch hitter, Aiden Schmitz. That pitch misses. Low 1-1.
If Regis retires Schmidt here, it would mark the first 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Sox pitching staff tonight.
And Schmidt got a base hit the last time he was up as he stares at that one outside 2-1 now. But Schmidt looking to get Saugerties their first base runner of the top of the fourth. They lead this one by 4. It's 7-3 Stallions. We put up 7 runs in the top of the third, but he swings and misses at that one, and now 2-2. And the Stallions down to their final strike of the side. So Schmidt hops back in the box. Stares up at Regis. Regis delivers, and that one is grounded to second, but it took a weird bounce on the turf, and reaching first is Schmidt. So that one took a wacky bounce on the turf there that second baseman Caden Fry just wasn't expecting. And it threw him off, and so reaching.
I think they should call that an error on Fry.
And they do. So the error count for Utica increases to 1. Now here's the pitch. This one is sharply lined out to left foul. Danny Surwick coming on up. He has singled and grounded out on the day. His third time around here as the Stallions is their third time around their order in this young game. Top of the fourth. Stallions lead this one 7-3. 0-1, Thurlwick grounds this one to second. Fry fields this one cleanly. The throw to first is way offline, but somehow staying on the bag was Levine,
Wow.
and he gets him out.
What a play.
And the side is retired off of a absolutely ridiculous reach there from Levine, so we will step aside 7-3 after 3.5. We're back here for the bottom of the fourth inning. Utica has Levine, McCartney, and Bowden Fernsler as their first three up here. 6, 7, 8.
A scoreless top of the fourth for Regas. And now can the Blue Sox continue to saw away more runs off this Saugerties lead, which sits at 4 currently.
So this is McCartney here. He stares at the first one that missed. This last time up, he flew out to right as he takes the first pitch of the bottom of the fourth inning. Utica trails 7-3 as he looks at that one for a strike. Outfield and infield playing in their normal positions. McCartney stares at that one that misses, and Light's continuing with that rapid tempo of his pitching today. He has gone of a very consistent timing between his pitches, and it's been very rapid. That one is chopped sharply to short. Fielded cleanly. The throw to first is in time, and out is McCartney at first on a 6-3 ground out. So here comes Bowden Fernsler.
Seems like the rain has settled down a little bit. It may still be drizzling, but I don't see any thunder or lightning, and it's not heavy rain. I think that's a pretty good outcome weather-wise tonight, Killian.
Certainly could have been a lot worse. The thunderstorms just kind of split around the stadium, much to the enjoyment of Saugerties, who didn't have to have their absolute rally inning of 7 runs to get spoiled by a rain delay.
If you're just tuning in to this game and didn't know what happened in the opener against Oneonta, we had a rain delay in the 7th inning. Massive storm and wind and lightning. That was crazy, Killian. For the opener, for all the interns and the players, that was a crazy way to start the game and the season.
For it being mostly everyone's first game.
We've had a few returners on the staff and the player roster, but all us interns are new.
It certainly came as a shock to everyone when that happened, as behind 1 and 2 here is Bowden Fernsler, and that one misses 2-2.
And it was crazy. You saw the rain just continue to pick up through the light stands in the outfield.
And the light stands here tonight have been on since really early in this game, much earlier than they normally are on. As swinging through and going down on strikes there is Fernsler, so he is retired for the first time tonight, and this will bring up Robbie Carvelli.
Here are some PGCBL scores going on at the same time. At Dwyer Stadium in the Western Division, Batavia leads Jamestown 6-0. In the East, Mohawk Valley on top of Glens Falls 8-0.
And Carvelli rips that one to third. It can't be fielded cleanly. The throw to first beats him in time.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So dropped the initial catch, but was able to scoop it back in and throw it to first to get the out. It remains 7-3 after 4 innings of play.
Number 11, Steven Ramirez.
So Steven Ramirez leads off for Saugerties in the top of the fifth. Ramirez in this game grounded out and walked and scored a run. Kicking off the fifth inning here, nearly half this game gone by. We are just past an hour and a half here into this matchup. Just about 9 minutes past that point. As we begin top of the fifth. That pitch is looked at for a strike, 1-1.
Regas is still on the mound after his strong top of the fourth. Can the Blue Sox keep this a 4-run game? They can definitely score 7 or more runs. It's important to see if their pitchers can keep it right here.
Ramirez weighs through that one, 1-2. And so all of a sudden, Ramirez into a bit of trouble here. Hoping to not become the first out of the top of the side. He stares at that one that missed, 2-2. The pitch from Regas is high fly ball to right field. This one's well in the foul territory. Coming back for is Levine, and he can't quite get there. A number of Blue Sox converging on that one, including Sweeney and Fry, but nobody ultimately able to get under that one to retire the batter for Saugerties. And so they get a bit of a new lease on life. Ramirez able to stay in the batter's box, specifically the left-handed one, as the lefty continues to face off against the righty pitcher, Regas. 2-2. That one swung on and chopped foul, so we'll do it again. Regas getting his pitch count run up a little bit here. And Ramirez was a tough out the first time up. It fouled off a couple of balls before finally they got him to ground out. And then obviously he walked the second time out. That one's grounded sharply the first, and it'll be taken care of right there by Levine to retire the first batter of the side, and this will bring up Chance Sobry.
First baseman number 37, Chance Saugerties.
Sobry flew out and got walked on the night so far. His third time around. We saw him in the second inning, the third, and now we see him once again here in the fifth. Infield playing at a normal depth. Outfield playing mostly at a normal depth. That one is chopped sharply to the second, easily handled there by Fry, who makes a clean throw to Levine for the second out.
Now it's Nick Croce. He's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. He does not want to be 0 for 3 with a trio of Ks. Rodriguez wants that to happen, though, I'm sure.
Saugerties' offense has been pretty quiet since that third inning here. Croce hoping to be the one to spark a resurgence as he stares at one up and inside 1-0. The 1-0 to Croce. He watches that one low and outside 2-0. And both times Croce struck out were on full counts. So he is a master of working the count, just hasn't quite gotten it to roll in his favor on the night. Would love this to be the time that happens. And Croce swings on that one, grounds it to third, easily played there. To throw to first is in time, scooped up out of the dirt by Levine, and now to retire to side. So Utica goes 1-2-3 for the second straight inning. And now they get their chance to break further into the Saugerties lead. Utica comes up when we come back.
Blue Star Station.
So 2 straight defensive scoreless innings, not 1-2-3 innings for Utica on defense. And now they will face Lights once again, who is still in the game for Saugerties, and why not? He's only given up 4 hits and 3 runs and committed 1 error, which resulted in one of those runs. He's been solid, even with his velocity slowly going down as this night goes on. That one sharply hit. The throw to first is in time for the out. So the very first pitch Caden Fry faces, he is retired on it. And so the flash comes back up here for the Blue Sox. It hasn't quite been his night so far. He struck out, but then was able to advance to third off of a wild pitch and an error committed by the catcher. He stares at that one for a strike.
So these batters have really been pounding the ball in play to the ground. Not a lot of fly balls or big line drives, just a lot of bouncing balls on the infield. It's benefiting the pitching here in these middle innings. And I think the rain's starting back up again, Killian.
Yeah, this rain's been on and off all night. It hasn't had too much of an effect on the game because it hasn't gotten quite that heavy. But as this one goes on, I wouldn't be too shocked to see that this starts to have an impact as this one is grounded. The second, the throw to first is in time for the out.
Again, just putting balls in play on the ground, and you could say putting the ball in play is good because you could maybe get an error or beat out the throw, but that hasn't been happening.
So that was Croce to Sobry there to retire the flash, and now here comes Ian Wirtz. Wirtz on tonight flew out and recorded a single. That first one misses. 1-0. And like you said, the rain's starting to pick up again. Now you can hear it on the roof.
Just a little pitter-patter on the tin ceiling.
That one is crushed into foul ground. And that one, I don't know where that one went. Actually, it kind of vanished after it got hit over the PA booth.
Nobody knows where it is. It went into the twilight zone.
That one grounded through the hole for a base hit. And so reaching is Ian Wirtz. He's got his second hit of the night. And now Xavier Smith, the X-Man, comes on up.
He walks up to X going, give it to you. Is he going to give the Blue Sox a run here with a man on? It's very possible. He had a huge game in the last home contest. Nearly went for the cycle. Was just a triple away from it. Hit a 3-run home run, a laser over the fence.
So far tonight, he's flown out and gotten hit by a pitch, so not as efficient offensively, but he has recorded a run as that first pitch in there for a strike. But a quick past 2 innings here, as none of these teams have been able to record any runs. Taking off from first, the throw is not in time. It was slow from the catcher Freeman, and getting in is Ian Wirtz on the stolen base.
That's the 4th steal in the game for the Blue Sox. Fry, Wirtz, Levine, and Flashner, 1 each.
So now 1-1 here to Smith, as he swings through that one, which was inside 1-2. Smith trying to avoid not reaching base for the second time tonight, but he'd like to not reach base the way he did last time, where he got nailed in the back. And he stares at this one outside, 2-2.
Again, the Blue Sox have a proclivity at getting runs home with 2 out. Can they do it here after a couple of ground outs on the infield? They have a man at second.
The 2-2 to Smith is chopped to third, fielded cleanly. The throw to first is in time. He got him. Smith thought he was safe there. He was kind of motioning with the safe signal, but the umpires disagree. And so Utica held off the board for the second straight inning. No runs of any kind scored since the third. It's 7-3 when we come back. We welcome you back here for the top of the sixth. Mason Gazaway to lead off for Saugerties. We haven't seen him since the third, when Saugerties went all around the order. Stallions here looking to add on to their lead. They had a 7-run third inning, and then they have not scored since. Those were their only runs on the day, and Utica started chipping back into that lead, but then they were also shut down over the last couple of innings. So Regas back in for the Blue Sox.
Give credit to Regas. He's been pretty strong. He inherited a mess in the third inning with the bases loaded, but ever since then, he's been very strong. Scoreless fourth and fifth frames.
Mason Gazaway here to lead off the sixth inning. The pitch from Regas. And Gazaway stares at a curve in there for a strike. Jaden Hamilton would be next. And then it would be Mangus Krieger, who homered and walked on the night so far. So he's been their top hitter for Saugerties. As it counts now 1-1 at Gazaway as the rain intensifies.
It's interesting to me, there's only been 4 hits for Saugerties. I made that 5 hits. 4 of them came in the third, and then just a single for Williams in the first. Otherwise, no hits.
Yeah, Saugerties' offense tonight has been spotty at best, but they get a little help there. That one bounces off the glove of the third baseman, Smith.
I think they should rule that a hit. Smith made a spinning attempt, and that was sharply knocked. I would call that a hit.
And he made that same play earlier in the game. Smith did, making a little spinning grab and then the throw, but that time it just stays away. So they will credit that as a hit. So Gazaway picks up his second hit on the night. Last one was a double.
First Stallion have multiple hits.
So Jaden Hamilton now at the plate for Saugerties as the rain continues to fall here in Utica.
The rain has been picking up. It's probably at its most heavy pace.
That one in there for a strike on 1. Utica trying to continue to keep Saugerties off the scoreboard, whose offense today has been spotty at best and silent at worst, besides that third inning.
Third inning was a massive frame. Otherwise, Saugerties has been kept completely off the board. No runs first, second, fourth, fifth, and sixth so far.
And that last single there from Gazaway, that was only their second hit that wasn't in the third inning.
But one massive inning for Saugerties could make this game a blowout.
The water continues to fall from the sky, and you wonder how this might be affecting the pitching here for both sides, as they might have to go for pitches that they know they have more control over in order to just keep a pitch in the catcher's glove, but that time it falls out, and stealing easily is Gazaway.
Third steal on the game for Saugerties. That's the second for Gazaway. Williams had the other swipe.
So Hamilton facing a 2-1, and a conversation here between Wirtz and Regas. Regas been in since that third inning where he came in relief of Bailey. And after a brief conversation, all is well. Wirtz heads back to behind the plate. And Regas prepares to deal the 2-2 to Jaden Hamilton. Hamilton creeps up towards the inside edge of the batter's box. 2-1 coming. And Hamilton lays off of that one, 2-2. Saugerties, last year's champion, looking to continue that momentum up to 31 pitches now for Regas. That kind of shows how quickly he's gotten through these last couple of innings. Swing and a miss there. And the count runs full.
That was a big cut and a miss. Hamilton wanted to cork one over the wall.
And Hamilton now feeling the pressure. Full count. The payoff pitch is swung on and a high foul ball out to right, and you will not see that one again. So Hamilton stays in. You got a sunset coming out from the west. The rain's still pouring.
You can really hear it now all around us, though the roof is keeping us insulated as much as possible.
I'm sure the players see the blue sky out to the west and are like, can that come any sooner? We're sick of playing in the rain. That one fouled off. And we will do yet another 3-2 pitch.
Underrated part of this inning, I think Regis really wants to get this first out here. If he walks Hamilton, it's 2 on with none out. Saugerties up 4. And then the top of the order looming after a couple more batters. This is a big at-bats, quietly.
So we'll do yet another payoff pitch to Jane Hamilton. Regis checks behind him. Now he stares forward and deals. And that one, oh, they rung him up. They ring him up there. What a great pitch on the inside edge. And it looks like Hamilton was slowly making a trot to first base, and then the umpire with the delayed call punches him out.
That was a huge strike 3. And I think we were both wondering, are they going to get the call? Is he going to get strike 3, or that's ball 4? That's a big call and a big pitch.
And so now here's Krieger. Swings for the fences on the first one and misses that, 0-1. And for good reason. He homered earlier in this one into left field. 2 of the 3 homers in this stadium this year have come in left field. Xavier Smith's homer went there. And then Amsterdam's home run was a monster shot out to right that landed on top of the batting cages. And he swings and misses at that one too, and now quickly falling behind 0-2 is Mingus Krieger. And Utica an opportunity here to get 2 retired relatively quickly with a runner in scoring position up the stolen base. Gazaway trying to just hang on here and wait until he gets advanced. Maybe take a shot at a steal. Infield all playing at a normal depth. Outfielders also playing at a normal depth, normal position for everyone on the Blue Sox in the field. The 0-2 swung at and missed. So 3 straight swings and misses for Krieger, and he goes down with a K.
Regis has been notching those strikeouts one after another. And Freeman, if he strikes out, it's free tacos. Here are your PGCBL scores from the day. A quick update. Niagara took the opening game of a doubleheader over Niagara Falls 15-3, but then the Americans won the rescheduled contest 7-5. Currently top of the 6th, Batavia 8, Jamestown 2. Saugerties 7, Utica 3, of course, as you're watching it now. Mohawk Valley took the game against Glens Falls. That ended after 5 innings. So another win for Mohawk Valley and a dominant one against the Dragons at Veterans Memorial Park.
So 0-1 quickly to Freeman, who fouled that one off. And you talk about that East Division with Mohawk Valley, who was at the top.
They've been great, and the Blue Sox got them for one of their losses.
On Kids Day Out, too, walked them off in front of the Remsen Elementary Schoolers, who were the only school left after.
I can't believe you still remember that name. That's amazing. Yeah, there was one school left on Kids Day Out. Some other schools went back home.
There's Xavier Smith that hit the walk-off sacrifice fly.
That's the only home win of the year for the Blue Sox. That's it.
Yeah, Blue Sox have struggled on their home field. This is their 5th home game on the year. They're 1-3. They lost on opening day to Oneonta, lost to Amsterdam, as well.
And pretty much all of the losses have been pretty close, relatively so. Blue Sox have had a couple of blowouts, win or loss either way on the road.
Then they also had that loss to Boonville. That was Boonville's first win of the year.
Yes.
And then they went up and beat Boonville yesterday. Or excuse me, no, they went up and beat Boonville the day before yesterday.
Yes.
So now 2 strikes to the Taco Bell strikeout man, Freeman. Freeman may be feeling the pressure of keeping the fans that have braved the rainstorm.
Should I join the chant, Killian? What do you think?
Well, if you want your taco,
Tacos. Tacos. Tacos.
I don't know if it's a requirement.
Tacos. I want to. I feel it on my bones, Killian.
So 2-2, 2 down. This will get the Blue Sox out of the
Taco.
side.
Taco.
So here comes the 2-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him.
Tacos.
And the Blue Sox, tacos for all the fans for the 3rd straight home game. They didn't get it during their home opener. The last 3 home games they've gotten that. It came relatively early on, the last 2 in the 1st and 2nd innings respectively. But the tacos for the fans comes a little later this time in the 6th, and that retires the side. No runs for Saugerties, who remains 7-3 when we come back. 5.5 innings played. Saugerties leads 7-3. They have 6 hits. Utica has 5. The 4, 5, 6 in the order, starting with Ethan Madison. New pitcher in. It's Nick Ballard.
He's replacing Lights, who had a quality start. 5 innings, 3 runs allowed, all earned. In line for the win.
All the Blue Sox fans that remain will be enjoying their free tacos.
And hopefully dry tacos if the rain stops. They don't have to run from their cars.
Yeah, you just know the players are looking off to the west and seeing the blue sky and are like, why can that not be here right now?
It's taken a long time to creep into view.
As it continues to harass the playing surface, which is turf, so it's not that big of a deal. But 0-2 here quickly as Madison grounds that one. The first, it'll be easily taken for the first out of the side. So here comes Jack Sweeney. Sweeney struck out looking and walked on the night so far. First time we've seen him in action since the 3rd. So the right fielder looks to start things off on a good note here for Utica following the ground out. Neither team has scored since the 3rd. Utica trying to be the one to change that as he looks at the first one in the zone for a strike. Outfielder slightly skewed to the right, except for the left fielder. Nearly getting smoked there was the first base coach with that foul ball.
Couple of 0-2 counts to begin Ballard's night. He's trying to calmly work a 6th inning and give a chance for the Saugerties offense to widen their advantage. It's been 7-3 ever since the middle innings. It was the 3rd inning, actually, where the Blue Sox responded.
So Sweeney fell behind 1-2 early on. Now he's trying to work his way out of it. And that one, and they ring him up on that pitch. Got him just on that inside edge, and so they go 1-2 to start the side. Now hoping he's not the 3 is Justin Levine. That's the 2nd time Jack Sweeney has struck out looking on the night. Levine singled and struck out on the day so far. Leadoff offering. Levine stares at that one in for a strike.
5 hits on the night for the Blue Sox, all singles. No extra base hits.
Sky's painted like a purple color out to dead center. Looks quite pretty, but that ground out might not be as pretty as the Blue Sox were hoping that at-bat would result into. So a 1-2-3 inning for Utica. Saugerties comes back up, and as we will start the 7th inning stretch when we come back. 7-3, Stallions remain with the lead.
To the top of the 7th we go. Saugerties to bat, up 7-3. John Regas is in the game for his 4th full inning and 5th inning overall. The hitter is Ben Williams to lead off the 7th. Struck out his last time up. Takes the first pitch for a strike, and the 7th inning is underway. John Regas has been really effective since taking over for Bailey in the 3rd. Gillian?
Yeah, Regas has had a really strong game, and it's no wonder they keep him in. He's held Saugerties to no runs since that 3rd inning. And as a matter of fact, neither team able to put up a run in the middle innings. So now in this 7th inning stretch, this is where the Blue Sox here are going to have to start to make their comeback a little more known. But they're still facing the starting pitcher, Lights. Lights, actually, no, they did take Lights out.
But they've only faced 2 pitchers, right? Lights was there for most of the game. 1-1 pitch. They call it a strike, though Williams turned his shoulder away as if he thought it was a ball.
And it feels like Lights could have gone longer, though, because he was having a really good game, and they took him out before he could get too tired. Utica only recorded 5 hits off of him.
1-2. Line drive, sprawling catch for Levine. That's out number 1. A web gem for Justin Levine. One retired in the 7th for Saugerties.
That ball was absolutely smoked into the glove of Levine there. He had to be quick on his feet to get in position to make that catch. And if he missed that, I assume it wouldn't have felt too good hitting him.
Now it's pinch hitter Aiden Smith for his 3rd plate appearance. Swings away at the first pitch and a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Schmidt has not been retired yet. He has singled and scored a run and reached on an error at second base in the 4th. But first plate appearance since he got to first on the E4. The 0-1 from Regas. There's another wave and a miss on the breaking pitch. So Regas has been really effective. He struck out the last 3 hitters he faced in the 6th. That was Hamilton, Krieger, and Freeman. And got a K of Williams in the 4th. That came after shutting down the 3rd inning. Well, ball 1, fastball high. Blue Sox staying in the ball game. It's 7-3. We know their offense can come alive at any moment and storm the team ahead in a comeback charge. Hasn't happened just yet. Regas wants to keep it a 4-run game, though. And he throws strike 3 down the middle of the plate. Got him looking. Another strikeout for Regas, and Schmidt is retired. 2 down in the 7th. Now it's Danny Surowick. He reached base once. That came in that long 3rd inning. He's also grounded out to second and popped out shortstop.
And Saugerties just been unable to do much of anything since that 3rd inning. I mean, they still are struggling to even get runners on base at this point.
First pitch into the glove of Wurtzen outside for ball 1. To my left is the orange light blue sky coming in the sunset, and then on my right and straight ahead is a rainy sky with gray clouds. There's ball 2 in the dirt. So a yin-yang sky on this Thursday evening in Utica, New York at Donovan Stadium. And of course we want the rain to go away and the gray clouds to say goodnight sooner rather than later, but it hasn't happened yet. Middle of the infield playing deep. Infield slightly, make that outfield slightly to the right. Line and foul to the right side. Smith is a little bit more close to the bag than Levine at first, who made a spectacular catch, catching the Williams lineout to open the 7th. Ramirez would hit next in the inning. Otherwise, he'd hit in the 8th if there's an out here. Surowick takes ball 3. So Regas definitely does not want to open the door for some runs for the Stallions. And Surowick is trying to reach base again. First time since the 3rd for him, if that happens. 3-1 the count. Bases empty, 2 out, top 7, 7-3. Saugerties. PGCBL action in the Eastern Division. Regas in his motion. Here comes the pitch. And that's popped up. It's a cloud scraper into foul territory. Settles under it. Smith drops it. And that's an error. My goodness. Xavier Smith had that for out number 3. And he made the mistake.
And that one just fell into fair territory right there. So multiple things going around for Utica on that play, and that could be something right there that flips the momentum into Saugerties' favor and gives the Stallions that little push that they need to get their offense going again, which we haven't seen, like we've said so many times here, since the 3rd inning.
Here's Steven Ramirez. He grounded out to first base. His last time up, he has walked, scored a run, had 1 RBI in that same walk. Slow pickoff throw to first base, unsuccessful. Can John Regas end the minor threat in the 7th? Still no 1-2-3 innings for John, though he's gotten close several times. Strike 1. Dotted the zone well on that fastball. It's the second error of the game for the Blue Sox. Fry committed the other error. Drops low 1-1 on that 0-1 delivery.
And it goes without saying that Ramirez here is a big out. You want to just continue to keep Saugerties off the scoreboard. Give Utica a chance to get back in this game, which they're certainly not out of by any stretch yet. But the longer Saugerties is allowed to hang around with the lead.
1-1 pitch slowly rolled over to the right, and it drifts foul. 1-2.
The more chances that they're given to extend that lead, it really only could get worse.
Rios has been a strikeout maestro in his relief outing. Can he get another and end the top of the 7th? He has a chance with the count 1-2. Just got a piece of it. Ramirez stays alive. Rainfall slowing down a bit as we continue to play past 9 o'clock. Another 1-2 coming up for Regis. He peers over to first. Surowick is there. He holds. Popped up, left center field. On the move is McCartney, and he makes the catch for out number 3. It was between Carvelli and McCartney to make the catch, and the left fielder hauled it in. We are through 6.5, 7-3 Saugerties. Nick Ballard remains on the bump in the bottom of the 7th for Saugerties, facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Blue Sox. This is the 3rd appearance for Ballard. Left-handed pitcher from Louisville. Got a 2-inning save against Oneonta in his debut. First pitch, strike to McCartney. Connor today 0-2, so not much of an impact. He's lined out to left field and grounded out to shortstop. Blue Sox down 4 in the last of the 7th. There was a strike, 0-2, painted the corner. Oh and 2. Ballard fires. In the air, right field, and shallow. Bale comes in to make the catch for out number 1. And there's one away in the home 7th. So the Blue Sox offense has been quiet as of late. And after a shallow fly to right, here comes Fernsler. He's 1 for 2. He singled and struck out swinging.
The more outs the Blue Sox waste, the tougher this is going to get. Down 4.
First pitch, pumped in, fastball, strike 1. from Ballard.
You're now down to 8 runs left in the, or I guess, a regulation game. But
Wave and a miss, 0-2, quickly.
Utica's going to definitely regret here if they waste these outs here in the bottom of the 7th and the 8th and have to put it all onto the bottom of the 9th.
0-2. Nicked foul behind home. Ballard ready. The pitch. Bounced it low. It's 1-2. After Fernsler, it would be Carvelli, who's grounded out twice. Then Fry. The DH gets back into the batter's box. Base is empty, 1 out. The pitch. On the ground and foul. Blue Sox trailing by 4. A comeback is possible, but it's getting late. Only 1 win at home. They want to make it 2 with a comeback attempt, as that is a base hit sneaking through past Croce. So a 1-out single for Fernsler. That's his 2nd hit of the game. A couple of singles for him tonight. Now it's Carvelli. Robbie has grounded to 2nd base and then grounded out to 3rd in his at-bats in the 2nd and 4th innings. So barring a double play, Fry will hit in this inning. He's hit a single. And though the contact hasn't been particularly loud tonight, again, no extra base hits for the Blue Sox. They're keeping themselves in the ball game right now. First pitch is upstairs. Maybe Fernsler will try and steal here and get into scoring position. There's been no caught stealings today. There's been multiple stolen bases on both sides. 1-0. There's a wave and a miss. Breaking ball got past Carvelli. 1-1. Infield's back except for first base, which makes sense, as there's a man on at first. Ballard throws over to first, keeping Fernsler honest. Do you think it would be a good idea for Bowden to steal?
Well, they clearly have their eye on him, so I think it's probably best for him to stay in the bag, but I wouldn't be too shocked here if we see him take off, and I'm sure Utica wouldn't mind getting the runner in scoring position.
High and towering in the air to right field, and it is hauled in by Croce. 2 away. Now it's Caden Fry to hit with 1 on and now 2 away. Caden 1 for 2. He singled, scored a run, then grounded to short. Can the Blue Sox engineer some 2-out magic in the 7th? It's possible, though a tad unlikely. First pitch, right field, Fry gets his 2nd hit of the game. Trying to go first to third is Fernsler. Here comes the throw. On a few hops, it's down the line, and it's 1st and 3rd with 2 out.
Well, the Blue Sox will definitely take that. I don't see a world that one's not acceptable when you're trying to get back into a game like this. And now this would be the perfect at-bat here for Flasher to break out. He's been quiet all game long. Let's see if this is the point that he can have his moment in this game.
He struck out and reached base on a wild pitch on that K and grounded out a couple times, 3rd and 2nd. 1st and 3rd, 2 away. Fernsler at 3rd, Fry at 1st. First pitch, catches the zone for strike 1. Can the Blue Sox continue to chip away at the deficit? Could Flashner get his first hit of the game? It's 1-1. Similar pitch, but different result.
Well, you understand why they don't want to give him one right down the middle, because he is more than capable of taking advantage of a pitch like that, trying to make him work for it, but inherently you're going to throw a couple balls if you're looking to pick corners of the zone.
First and third, 2 out, bottom 7. Big opportunity for the Blue Sox to get at least 1 run home. Showing bunt is Flashner, and he takes strike 2. Interesting bluff. Didn't know if he actually wanted to square it or just confuse the defense, because a sacrifice can happen here. There's 2 out. It's a 1-2 count now. Fernsler, the lead runner. 1-2 outside.
But we've seen him pull the trigger on bunts earlier on in the season and take off running for first, just as not a sacrifice. But with a runner on third, I don't imagine that's the most ideal situation, as you got forces at first and second, and if the runner at third goes and it's not a great bunt, then that could bail on the inning.
And a pickoff attempt at first. Not in time, and a run scores. So the Blue Sox get by the attempt to get Fry out at first base. Fernsler scores. It's 7-4.
Absolutely disastrous sequence there for Saugerties. I mean, in that situation, you're getting the runner exactly where you want him. You can get him to run down, but the shortstop
Try to get him in a rundown, and there just wasn't well executed.
Yeah, Ramirez couldn't get into the position that he wanted to. So the throw to Ramirez was kind of late, and Ramirez had to kind of get stuck behind his bag, and it let Fry slide on in.
2-2 pitch. It's a full count now. If Flashner reaches base, the tying run will come to hit. In that case, it would be Ian Wirtz hitting. 3-2. Ballard delivers. Ball 4 outside. 2 on with 2 out. Now a 3-run game.
That's a huge one there for the Blue Sox. Now I got 2 runners on. It's a 3-run game, 2 down. But you got Wirtz coming up, and he's singled twice on the day already. If you're Utica, you like where you're sitting right now.
Freeman confers with Ballard and now walks back to his post. Ian Wirtz, the backstop. Can he make some more magic happen? The Blue Sox have already scored 1 run in the 7th. Can they make it more? With the X-Man on deck, Wirtz is at the plate. First and second occupied, 2 out. 3-run game. First pitch, waving just got a piece of it foul. Almost a miss, but barely nicked the lumber. Infield is all playing back, including first. Outfield, normal depth, maybe slightly over to the right, if you're looking from the batter vantage point. Ballard leaning in, count no balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. That misses the spot on a fastball. The count draws even at 1-1. The Blue Sox have been hanging around in this game, getting good pitching in the middle innings to keep this game right where it is, and it's 2-1 now. The tension is rising. Utica coming off a blowout loss where they got run ruled out of the game in the 8th inning. Just 1 win at home, and that came on a walk-off. It was a comeback win against Mohawk Valley. Blue Sox want to earn the mantle of comeback kids if they can pull off another rally tonight. It's now 3-1 on another fastball upstairs. Ballard is losing control slowly and incrementally, giving some ground to the Blue Sox, giving them belief that they can come back. But can that belief turn into reality? 3-1. There's strike 2. So Ballard settles back in.
It's a huge next pitch here for Utica.
It's massive.
They gotta just advance these runners, try to drive one run in, not send all the work to the 8th and the 9th.
Just off the nub of the bat, and it's foul to the right. Bit of a half swing with the runners moving.
Yeah, runners both took off there. I wouldn't be too shocked here to see him go for this little double steal again. I mean, what do you have to lose at this point? There's not much that I can think of.
Fry and Flashner lead off on their bases, and they run. Foul back to the screen. We'll do it again. Oh, baby. What a situation. First and second occupied, 2 out in the 7th. Blue Sox were down 7-1 at one point. They made it quickly 7-3, then waited a few innings to get another run on the board, which came on a blown pickoff attempt. Another 3-2 to right field. Can it drop in front of Bale? And it does! That's a base hit! That scores Fry! Flashner's into third. RBI single Wirtz, 7-5.
And here's the offense for Utica. It's been kind of hidden throughout this game so far, but now they're starting to wake back up. This is a great little bloop hit. Falls just inside there of the foul line. A huge base hit. Now it's a 2-run game. You got Smith coming up. You know he's got the power to pull off an extra base hit, and definitely you have a sizable gap there in left center between the outfielders that's potentially being left. So now I think this is a great time here for a mound visit for Saugerties. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Saugerties 7, Blue Sox 5. Drama in the 7th. 2 runs scored in the frame for 4 and 5 Utica. And an important mound visit. Here comes Xavier Smith. Flashner at third, Wirtz at first. 2 out. First pitch. Popped up high. Off second is Croce. He retreats and makes the catch on the back pedal. So the Blue Sox strain 2, but they score 2. We're through 7 innings. We've got a ball game, 7-5 Stallions. Sobry faces Stokert
Baseman number 37, Chance.
in the top of the 8th, a 7-5 game. A ball game which has certainly shifted since the Blue Sox scored a pair in the home 7th. Following Sobry, it will be Croce and Gazaway. Austin Stokert attempting to hold this game at 7-5 to give the Blue Sox a chance to do something on offense. First pitch is a slow off-speed delivery into the dirt, ball 1. The rain has mostly died down, though I'm sure there's some drizzling that is unable to be seen by the naked eye. There's ball number 2 on a fastball away. It's been mostly dark, though there are some faded color in the sky over to our left by the trees. 2-ball pitch from Stokert. Tagged to right field and foul outside the bag. Saugerties 7, Blue Sox 5. Ever since Utica took a 1-0 lead, it's been all Saugerties. They scored 7 in the top of the 3rd, and they've held the advantage ever since. Activity at both teams' bullpens, so the pitching matchups will continue to shift. 2-1 pitch. Nicked foul behind home plate, and Stokert's gotten back in the count. It's now 2-2.
We're talking about Stokert. The last time we saw him was against the Boonville Lumberjacks on June 2nd. It's been a while since we've seen him get into a game. He pitched 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, but didn't give up any runs, so 0 ERA for Stokert.
Austin guns home a 2-2 pitch. It is just outside for ball 3. Home plate umpire has some delayed strike 3 calls, so you have to wait a second to see if it's ball 3 on pitches that are pretty close. Like that one. The count now full. Stoker does not want to walk the leadoff hitter. But he does. Ball 4. So Sobry reaches base.
Second baseman number 17, Nick Croce.
Here's now Nick Croce. He has struck out twice and grounded out to 3rd. PGCBL action on a wet and overcast night in the U. First pitch is a line drive foul to the right side, now to play. Can the Blue Sox come back in this game and go back to 500 with their second home win of the year, or will Saugerties continue to prove, just like they are in the standings, that they're the better team? Oh, 0-1 from Stokert. That misses the spot into the glove of Ian Wirtz. 1 ball and 1 strike now. It's now 2-1. Stokert just nibbling around the corners, trying to find his pitch and his rhythm. It's been a little spotty so far. He led off the inning with a walk. And now on a 2-1 count. The offering to Croce coming. Over to 3rd. Smith gobbles it up, throws to 2nd for the out. The turn towards 1st, and it's thrown away. So the Blue Sox get the lead run, but the relay to 1st is not in time. Or, well, it might have been in time, but the throw was off target. So a fielder's choice out, taking Sobry off the base pass, and it's Croce at 1st. Now Mason Gazaway. He is the hitter. Mason has had a good game. 2 hits, a single, and a 2-run ground rule double. First pitch drops in for a called first strike. That is just a little low from Stoker to even up the count.
Stoker struggled a little bit early on with the accuracy. He's had a few pitches that were perfectly placed, but overall he's been a little wacky today for Utica. Obviously, you got the one out on the double play.
Pickoff attempt just rolls away, but Crothy doesn't try to advance.
Or the double play attempt for that matter, but just kind of really struggled to find his pitch here early on in his appearance.
But nothing too terrible has come of that. Just a walk and a fielder's choice so far. Still a 7-5 game. One. That's low again. 2-1. Mason Gazaway attempting to get his third hit on the night, and it would be a critical one in the 8th with just one away. Stoker's 2-1, and it hits him for a hit-by pitch. So Stoker, who is yet to allow a run this season, he has a 0.00 ERA, is now in a bit of trouble. 2 have reached base. None on hits. Here comes Gene Hamilton now. He's seeking his first hit. He struck out twice and flown out to right. What can Austin Stoker do to calm things down and strand a pair? Double play would be nice. He got a double play ball but wasn't converted earlier in this 8th. First pitch, and that's ball 1. What are you seeing from Stoker, Killian?
Well, he's getting a lot of motion on his pitches, but it's just kind of not falling where he wanted to. And it's both that and Saugerties isn't chasing after it. So we're just seeing a number of balls here just struggle throwing strikes.
There's a strike, 1-1. Stoker hasn't been completely losing hitters, but he hasn't been exactly dominating them either, somewhere in the middle. And now we're here, 2 on and 1 out. That ball sneaks through into left field for a base hit. Here comes the throw from McCartney to the plate. The tag, he's way out. He's totally out. The tag from Wirtz. Don't run on McCartney. And Nick Crosey is out. So it's a base hit for Hamilton. It's first and second now with 2 out. Still a 7-5 game.
It's not what Saugerties wants to see. Just a bad base running decision, and it gets him caught at home. And now Krieger, all of a sudden, with 2 down, has a runner in scoring position, but it might make it difficult here for Saugerties to extend their lead.
The base hit from Hamilton and the throw out at home. Now it brings up Krieger. First pitch, called a strike. After Krieger, it would be Freeman. Still a threat on the base pass, despite the great peg at home plate. Oh, 0-1 from Stoker. There's ball 1. How huge of a throw that was from McCartney. I knew immediately after Crosey was waved home that it would have been a close play, but it wasn't even close. Crosey was out by a long shot.
Well, I think we learned that Saugerties did not do their due diligence scouting out McCartney, because that was a beautiful throw to home, and he's been making those all year. It's not something new.
The throw was so ahead of the runner that Wirtz had to move closer to him to get the tag out. Just waiting for it. Count 2-1. In the air, left field, threatening. McCartney moves back, looks up, makes the catch at the warning track for out number 3. Oh, that was close. Bottom 8, here we come. 7-5, Saugerties. New hurler for the Stallions in the bottom of the 8th. It's Jake O'Connor. Right-hander, stands at 5'10". He's a junior from South Connecticut State. Ethan Madison leads off for the Blue Sox, 4, 5, and 6. The first 3 to hit in the inning for the Blue Sox. Sweeney and Levine to follow the EH, Ethan Madison. Ethan is 1 for 3. He is single. That came in the 3rd. He's also flown out to right and grounded out to first. First pitch drops in for strike 1. Blue Sox put 2 on the tally in the 7th. Can they continue their comeback right here? They have the 8th and the 9th to do it. And then if they tie it, it would go to the 10th. 0-1. There's ball 1 upstairs. Seems like the pitching staff has been better in this game, especially the relief pitching. It's ball 2. Bailey had some strong moments, but it was really Regis who dominated those middle innings, and then Stoker kept it 7-5. With a great throw from McCartney being part of that. But part of the reason McCartney had a chance was because it wasn't over his head. It wasn't really well hit, so Stoker made a good pitch to prevent extreme and violent contact. So a quick mound visit from Drew Freeman at catcher. He's back in. Leadoff hitter in Madison really wants to get on base to give the Blue Sox chances to score with not 2 out, which is where both their runs came. There's strike number 2. If you get runners in scoring position or on base in general with none out, it just lengthens your opportunities. Versus when there's 2 out, you have to really play perfect. Off the middle of the lumber and foul, 2-2 still. Killian, do you see a different ball club than we saw the last time the Blue Sox played when they got run ruled out of the contest?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that their pitching has been really consistent throughout this game. Doesn't really matter who's up there on the mound. They've been able to hammer out.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the fastball, and Madison strikes out for the first time tonight.
They've been able to hammer out strikeouts. They've been able to get groundouts, and it's been a great job by the Utica pitching staff tonight. It's kept Saugerties, excluding that 3rd inning, off the scoreboard, and obviously that 3rd inning was so significant it gave them the lead with just that inning alone. But
first pitch is a fastball outside top corner, 0-1. Third pitcher into the game for the Stallions, O'Connor, following Ballard and the starter Lights. It's 1-1 on a fastball upstairs. Due up is Levine. After the first batter was retired via the strikeout. Off the end of the bat, it climbed up really high on the netting for that foul. Nearly got over for a souvenir for somebody in the stands. The rain has quieted down a bit. There are some remnants of the weather. On the button into center field, but it hangs up for Williams. That's out number 2. Here comes Justin Levine. He's gone 1 for 2 after that single in the 2nd. Came around to score, but then struck out looking in the 3rd and grounded out to 3rd base in the 6th. Blue Sox trying to avoid a 1-2-3 inning. They got their magic and their 2 runs with 2 out in the 7th. Maybe they can make something happen with 2 out in the 8th. Otherwise, they go to the 9th, still in a 2-run game. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0. McCartney is next. Levine wants to make sure he hits in this inning and not the 9th. Tug towards right field and foul over the screen. Bases empty, 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. Utica batting, trailing by 2. The pitch. Air strike 2, a fastball that nipped the corner. Utica's been hanging around, threatening to come back in this game. They've made some spirited attempts. They've gotten more runs on the board and slowly inched their way back into this game. And now we've got a contest. Can Utica really close the deal? To shortstop, Ramirez with a one-hop throw over to first base in time for out number 3. And the Blue Sox go 1-2-3 in the 8th. 9th inning, here we come in a 7-5 game. We are back. 9th inning, Saugerties 7, Blue Sox 5. And before we do that, a quick detour into hockey. 2-1 Carolina leads in the pivotal Game 5 in Raleigh. For you hockey heads watching this baseball broadcast, Jordan Stahl scored in the first inning on a tip-in against Carter Hart. He becomes the first player since the 50s to score in the first 5 games each of the Stanley Cup Final. So that's been a good game and a great series. We had a great finals game last night with that crazy Knicks comeback. And we got a good game here. So all around in the sports world, some exciting stuff going on. Top of mind, of course, the Blue Sox attempting to come back against the Stallions. Drew Freeman leads off for the visitors and the defending PGCBL champion Saugerties Stallions. They have a 5-3 record. They want to up it to 6-3. They have Freeman, Williams, and then Schmidt due up. Stokert's still on the mound for a 9th. First pitch, pumped in, ball 1, a little in. The Blue Sox lose. They go to 4-6 through 10 games. 1-0. Another one outside from Boston.
Well, Saugerties goes without saying that they need to score runs here. Haven't scored since the 3rd. They've just been quiet on offense, and they really do need the exact opposite of that here in the 9th.
Hammered over to 3rd. Smith has it, throws up the line, and the dive at first base by Levine is not in time, and that was a mistake by Smith. He threw it up the line.
It looks like the ball kind of just stuck in his hand. They'll rule that an error on Smith. It's his 2nd on the day.
Here comes the leadoff hitter, Ben Williams. He's reached base twice, one on a single, one on a walk. Last 2 at-bats, strikeout looking, and a liner to Levine at first, where he made that diving snare. 1 on with none out. First pitch, dips low, ball 1. So the Blue Sox have made mistakes in the later stages of this game, but have escaped and kept this game pretty close. Stallions want to weaken the possibility of a comeback here with a big 9th inning. Strike 1 from Stokert. In the bottom of the 9th, they would have McCartney, Fernsler, and Carvelli. They were a part of that run-scoring 7th. Strike 2 on the outside corner. 1-2. Stokert getting back into this at-bat. Austin ready. He throws. Ground ball in the hole. Pass, Flashner, base hit. 2 on with none out.
That's a good start for Saugerties, and we know what happened the last time they got a bunch of runners on base with nobody down. It resulted in them scoring 7 runs. So Utica's got to have that in the back of their mind here as they go through this top of the 9th inning with Saugerties looking ready to do a ton of damage.
So 2 on, none out. It's Aiden Schmidt. Lifts one foul down the right field side. Way out of play. Could that error by Smith, his second of the game, be costly? It's very possible. With 2 on and none out, Stallions have a solid chance at scoring. Stokert wants to avoid that, though. That ball drops away, 1-1. Big 9th inning. Stallions looking for their 6th win of the year. Blue Sox, it would be their 5th. Ground ball, fair down the line in left field. That'll score at least 1 run. Here comes Freeman to touch home. That's an RBI double for Aiden Schmidt. The error does prove costly. It's 8-5. Stallions score for the first time since the 3rd.
Designated hitter number 45, Danny Sorwick.
There's not much you can say there other than that's just a great piece of hitting. I mean, right down that third base foul line, stays fair. Not much Utica can do about that one once that was off his bat.
Here comes Danny Sorwick. He reached on a Smith error his last time to the plate. Takes ball number 1 low. That'll go down as an unearned run for Stokert, by the way, since Freeman reached on an error. Ben Williams is now at third base, and Aiden Schmidt is now at second. Can Stokert keep it 8-5, though, and keep the hope alive? Foul ball left side. One pitch into the mitt of Wirtz and high for ball 2.
And still nobody down for Saugerties. They can afford here to take some risks and just kind of hold off of a couple pitches, maybe try to draw a walk. You already got that insurance run, so you're up by 3.
2-1 from Stokert. Fought off and foul to the left. So 2 strikes now on Danny S. The DH tonight. Looking for his first hit, which would drive home probably 2. And really put this game out of reach for Utica. Two, high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sorwick walks. It would really put Stokert in a bind. It would load the bases with none away, which is exactly what happened in the 3rd, which led to that 7-run avalanche. Three-two. Bounded and played at short. Flashner looks Williams back to the bag and throws him out at first. So a big first out for Stokert and the Blue Sox. Call it a 6-3 put away. Here comes the shortstop, Steven Ramirez. He has walked, scored a run, 1 RBI for him. He's also grounded out twice and flown out once. First pitch rattled into right field, a base hit. That scores 1. Touching home is Williams. It is now 9-5, an RBI single for Ramirez.
Well, you knew you couldn't keep Saugerties off the board for too long, and finally they come alive, and it comes at the best point for them, giving them that insurance. And now if you're Utica, I think the focus here is just going to have to be limiting the damage for the rest of this top of the 9th so you can have a shot in the bottom of trying to make a comeback attempt.
Here comes Chance Sobry. He walked his last time up in the 8th inning. First and third, one away, foul ball to the left. Blue Sox try to stay alive in this game, but the hopes are getting ever more fleeting with every run scored for Saugerties in this inning. It's now 2 runs scored in the top of the ninth for the Stallions. Oh, 1. In the air, left field. Could be an out in foul ground, and the catch is made by Smith. There's 2 away.
It's a big second out there for Utica. Now Saugerties just has to be perfect here for the rest of this top of the ninth. Utica, I would not be surprised if they get aggressive with their pitching approach here. Try to force into a ground ball, just get really anything. You got forces at first and second, and that would retire the side.
Here comes Nick Croce. First and third with 2 away. First pitch just misses away.
But I'd like to see Utica here to be aggressive. Try to jam him up, force him into a fly out, a ground out, something that you can get out of the side.
Two minutes. Blue Sox have lost 4 of their last 5. They lost last night at Amsterdam, beat Boonville 18-16, and then a 3-game losing streak before that, twice to the Mohawks, once to the Boonville Lumberjacks. So it's been a tough stretch since the Blue Sox started 3-1. Line drive into left field, base hit, and Saugerties adds on. It is now 10-5. Nick Croce with an RBI single, scoring Aiden Schmidt, and it is now official. The Blue Sox pitching staff has allowed double-digit runs in the last 4 games, including tonight.
Well, not much really you can say if you're Saugerties there, other than it's good hitting. I mean, great. They're doing great placement. They're making contact.
First pitch is a strike. The hitter is now Mason Gazaway. He was hit by a pitch in the 8th his last time up. 3 runs in this 9th for Saugerties, kind of turning out the lights on any Blue Sox comeback attempt. They were down only 2 entering this inning, and now it's a fleeting hope. 10-5 now. Liner into left center field, high and hit well, and that ball drops into the gap, and the runs keep on coming. It's 11-5. Here comes the throw from center field. Carvelli can't make a throw out at third base. That is a 2-run triple for Mason Gazaway, and this game is over. Saugerties is going to win it. They now lead 12-5, barring something crazy.
And they're going out into the outfield to check on McCartney, who went down mid-run, non-contact.
We sure hope he's okay. Here come a couple of members of the training staff. McCartney's on his feet right now and walking towards them. Scoring on that triple is Ramirez and Croce.
I mean, and that's one of those balls that if that's hit to a more shallow part of the park, that one is absolutely gone. That is a just ridiculously powerful line drive. Gets all the way to the wall. And it looks like McCartney here is going to come out, so they'll have to replace him. And so we'll see who's going to get the nod for Utica.
We'll see what Coach Gillette does to make a defensive change with 2 out in the inning. So Saugerties has scored in just 2 innings. You may not believe me when I say this because it's 12-5, but it's true. They've scored 7 in the 3rd. They've scored now 5 and counting in this 9th.
Entering the game in left field for your Blue Sox from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 4, Christian Cerrone.
Christian Cerrone is the defensive substitution in left field. We hope Connor McCartney is okay. He made a great throw to get a run out after a base hit in left field earlier in this game. He's made some strong plays tonight, and we sure hope he can get back in the lineup soon. We obviously can't speculate, but of course, if he's coming out of the game, there is something to be looked at.
Yeah, and he went right back to the clubhouse. They didn't bother to stop in the dugout, so trainers obviously wanted to take a look, and like you said, just hope he's okay.
And that means that McCartney will not hit in the bottom of the ninth. He is due up next. It would now be Cerrone. First pitch is high for ball one. The hitter is Jaden Hamilton. And if Hamilton reaches base, every Stallion hitter will take a turn in this ninth. Because then it would be Krieger next. Freeman led off the inning with an error. It's 2-0 now from Stoker. It's now 3-0. In Killian, I just have to say what I think the Blue Sox are feeling and what most of the fans are thinking. It was 7-5 entering the ninth, and this team had a lot of hope at a comeback. How disappointing has this ninth inning been?
Well, for Utica, the number one issue here is just the fact that
There's ball four and a 2-out walk. Continue.
They just can't get Saugerties right now in the ninth to make contact in a way that's beneficial to the Blue Sox. I mean, when they're not making contact, they're getting walked. When they are making contact, they're getting base hits. And Saugerties, to their credit, have done great hitting the ball here in this ninth inning. And it was the same thing that we saw in the third, where they got hot and they just were not able to be stopped.
Over to Flashner, throws to second for out number 3 to mercifully end the top of the ninth. But the Stallions put an end to any comeback threat. They lead 12-5 middle of the ninth. We're back for the bottom of the ninth. The Blue Sox hung around for a lot of the game, and I think they've fallen off in the ninth because they're down 12-5 with Killian Heffron. I'm Morgan Spriggs. And Killian, what are just takeaways from this game so far as we reach towards its conclusion? Like Quello now on the mound.
Well, we saw that the Utica pitching staff could be dominant for most of the game, but as it's been all year, when they've gotten into trouble, they've gotten into trouble. And 7 runs conceded in the third, 5 in the ninth, and they trailed this game 12-5. All the runs have been scored in 2 innings for Saugerties.
Blue Sox almost certainly on the verge of losing their 5th game in their last 6. And falling to 4-6. Season, of course, far from over, plenty of opportunities, but this has been certainly a rough stretch since that 3-game winning streak following the home opener.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think for Utica, the big message into this one is that nobody expects us to come back and win this game. How about we go out and shock the world right now? Do something special. I think that's what the message is going to be.
Down 7, you think trying to shock the world? I mean, of course, you got to have that hope. But it's certainly unlikely, to put it plainly.
And as I said earlier, the goal's not going to be get all 7 immediately. Maybe get 1 or 2, just see what happens, and maybe they can go on a rally, but it's going to take a tall effort.
Swing and a miss. Christian Cerrone, who substituted for McCartney in left field in the top of the ninth after the injury, is now hitting. It's 0-2. Mike Quello on the mound, trying to end the game for Saugerties. Base is empty, first of the bottom of the ninth. And Quello with a 2-strike pitch. That's way outside, past the glove of Freeman. The Blue Sox chipped away for runs in the 7th inning to make it 7-5, but ever since then they've fallen out of favor in this contest, down by 7. So who knows what can happen with this offense. Wouldn't put it past them. 1-2 pitch is on the ground to first base, and the covering Quello gets out number 1. Call it a 3-1 put away. Here comes Bowden Fernsler. He singled and scored a run back in the 7th. Robbie Carvelli would be next, and then Fry if it gets that far. We've gone past 10 p.m. here in Utica, New York. This game's taken 3 hours and 17 minutes so far. First pitch drops outside and low, 1-0. Two RBI in the game for Ian Wirtz. One came on a ground out in the 3rd, then a single in the 7th. 2 singles and runs scored. Trips for Caden Fry. There's ball 2. 2 singles for Fernsler as well. No extra base hits on the game, though, for Utica. And there's been several 2 or more base hits for Saugerties tonight. 2-0. On the ground, backhanded at 3rd. And the throw is down the line, the tag, not in time. As Hamilton threw it a little wild to Sobry. And there's 1 on with 1 out.
It's not unlike something we saw at Utica do earlier tonight, where the throw to first was just inaccurate and it let the runner beat out the tag attempt.
Well, they call it an error at 3rd base. I think they're going to call it a hit.
So now the umpire's getting together.
Umpire's ruling now. Maybe they say they got the tag. I think they're probably looking to see if it's an out safe thing more than just to call it an error or call it a hit. That's more for the scorekeeping. The umpires will now go over to the Blue Sox dugout. Here comes Coach Gillette. And 2 are having a conversation down the 3rd base line.
Fernsler's not moving from first base, so.
Saying maybe to overturn the call.
Gillette does not look particularly pleased with whatever's going on right now. So everyone trying to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, Bowden Fernsler here.
Now here comes the other umpire, Saugerties.
Yeah,
and they're saying he's out. They're changing the call. They're calling him out. And so Fernsler has to sulk back to the dugout. And there's now 2 down. Brings up Robbie Carvelli as the last hope for the Blue Sox, down 7.
Well, it's good on the umpires there that they were able to convene and get the call right. I mean, the last thing you want to do is refuse to change a call out of spite, but good on the first base umpire there accepting his mistake and being willing to overturn it.
First pitch, outside from Quello, ball 1. Blue Sox have not gotten a hit since the 7th when they scored 3 runs. They went in order in the 8th and in order so far in the 9th. 1-0, the pitch is in tight, 2-0. Fry is on deck. Though he might not hit. If Carvelli's out, the game's over. 2-ball pitch. That misses the spot, 3-0. Carvelli hasn't reached base tonight. Grounded out to second base in the second, grounded out to third base in the fourth, and popped out to second base in the seventh.
If you're Carvelli, I don't think you swing here. I think you just take this pitch no matter what.
Could very well be ball 4 and give Fry a chance. Which it is. 2-out walk for Carvelli. Keeping the game alive for now.
Second baseman, number 14, Hayden Fry.
Here comes Caden Fry. 2 singles for him, 2 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. 5 total stolen bags on the year, on the game rather, for the Blue Sox. First pitch into the other batter's box, 1-0. So, well, having some trouble throwing strikes, and a few walks in a row could open the door for something crazy. 1-ball pitch is in for strike 1. If Fry gets on, it'll be Flashner. One pitch. Snapped in for strike 2. And the Blue Sox are down to their final strike. Bottom of the ninth. 12-5 Stallions. They've scored only in 2 innings, but they've been 2 big innings. 7 runs in the third, 5 runs in the ninth. And now a 1-2 pitch. In the air, left field, and caught by Ramirez at shortstop for out number 3, and the ball game is
not over.
Not over. They said he didn't catch it. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, he bounced off his glove. He dropped
Almost.
it. It's a big drop.
Excuse me.
to the
I
Blue
thought he
Sox.
caught it. I thought he caught it, and then I was looking over, and you guys are like, no. So excuse me. I thought he caught it, but it was certainly close. So they call it a single for Fry. Pardon me there.
I mean, it's a relatively routine play. I'm not surprised why you thought he caught it. I mean, he backed up and just kind of hit the
He
lip of
leaped
his
up,
glove
and from my view, there's a big pole there that obscures my view, so I didn't see the ball go behind the glove. So a correction now. It's now first and second with 2 away, and a first pitch to Flashner's ball 1. So again, maybe, I mean, they're down 7. It's going to be tough to come back, but it's maybe.
I mean, usually those ones will just fall into the glove once they hit the lip like that. That one did the exact opposite. It just kind of took a roll out and onto the ground.
In and out of the glove of Ramirez. Ball 2 bouncing in from Quello's arm. Wirtz is on deck. So Flashner does indeed get a chance to hit after Jaden Ramirez at shortstop has the ball roll in and out of his glove. Two and 0. Strike 1. Blue Sox have been down to their final out ever since Fernsler's at-bat ended with him getting tagged out upon review at first base. And they've been on their final strike at one point with Fry's at-bat. But the game's still alive for now, and they're now down to their final strike again. Strike 2 called. It's 2-2.
If you're Flashner here, I feel like you just got to swing at this. I mean, just take a
have
take a
to
shot.
see what happens. See if you can get it over the wall and make it what would be 12-8. Does he swing here at this 2-2? Yes, he does, and it's foul. So the Flash stays alive. Blue Sox down to their final out, final strike. On the verge of falling to 4-6 on the 2026 season. Quello's 2-2. In the air at left field, Hamilton races after it, but it's over the fence in foul ground. So 2 straight foul balls for Flashner to keep the game on life support.
Yeah, Flashner just right now is Utica's last hope, just trying to keep things under control.
Two. Count is full. So Flashner with every pitch just scraping by, keeping this game continuing on. Despite many factors, almost seeming like it's over. Score, pop up to short that should have been caught, but the game's still alive. 3-2, and the pitch. That is inside for ball 4, and the game rolls on, and Flashner takes a 2-out walk.
The catcher, number 61.
Here comes Ian Wirtz. He has singled twice. Collected 2 RBIs on the game. We have a mound visit going on here in the 9th. Killian, what was the best part of the Blue Sox performance today? Even though it's likely they won't come out with a win, what do you think they can take moving forward and continue to grow their game?
I would say that entire stretch pitching between the 4th and the 8th. I mean, it was dominant for Utica. They weren't letting Saugerties have literally much of anything, and then eventually it just kind of fell apart in the 9th.
But to respond, does it matter when they give up 7 in the 3rd and 5 in the 9th? They still given up 12 runs. I understand they didn't give up any from the 4th to the 8th, but if you give up 12, does that really matter? Is that translatable?
I mean, if you're looking for something to build off of, yes, it does matter. But if you're looking in the whole scope of the game, no. It kind of depends on, like, what they're trying to do.
Wirtz takes ball 1 low, and Coelho, if he wasn't already in the game up 7, he'd be feeling a little more pressure. But again, the Blue Sox, we know they can string together some big innings. Who knows? Could this be a big one? Ian Wirtz at the plate. Bases loaded, 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. And the 1-0. There's a strike. Blue Sox have been down to their final out for a while now, and they've been down to their final strike twice.
And Saugerties has not helped themselves with that fact. That error would have ended the game, but dropped the ball. Now you got them loaded up. Opportunity to generate some momentum here. Down 7, but it's not over quite yet.
2-1 into the dirt. Saugerties just can't put it away. If it was a 7-5 game, it would be a lot crazier right now, I'm sure. Two and one from Coelho. On the ground and foul. And for the 3rd time, the Blue Sox are down to their final strike. Ian Wirtz at the plate. 2-2 the count. 2 out, 3 on, and a 12-5 game in the bottom of the 9th. And Mike Coelho with the pitch. Up the middle, that ball bounces at shortstop. The throw is in time to end the game at last. Saugerties defeats the Utica Blue Sox 12-5.
And that's the game final score.
And the Blue Sox are now 4-6. They've lost 5 of their last 6 contests, and they've allowed double-digit runs in the last 4 games. What's your biggest takeaway, Killian?
Well, my biggest takeaway from that is that Utica, their pitching was good for most of the game, and then there were just some points where things just kind of fell off a metaphorical cliff, and that's really all it took for a Saugerties offense as dangerous as that. They were easily able to take control when given the opportunity, and the Stallions, I think, are going to be very pleased with how this one turned out.
Amsterdam is next for the Blue Sox right here at home, June 13th. That is a Saturday night, so if you're in the central New York area, make sure to come to Donovan Stadium at Bernane Field for the Blue Sox and the Mohawks, or tune in right here on our YouTube channel at 6:45 first pitch. And then Glens Falls would follow for Amsterdam. Saugerties is a winner. They are now 6-3. Blue Sox, once again, are 4-6. That'll do it for this broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. For our producer, Louis Leibowitz and Killian Heffron, I'm Morgan Spriggs, wishing you a great rest of your Thursday night. Goodbye, everybody.